We back again for another star-studded episode of the panel. Welcome. Remember, the show is brought to you by PrizePicks. As you can see, the title of the show, the New York Knicks are cruising. They're on a roll right now, 5-game winning streak, and they are just a game out of the second seed in the Eastern Conference, right behind the Boston Celtics. They stomped on the Denver Nuggets tonight. We watched it last night on playback. If you were fortunate enough to pull up, you would have seen it yourself. So we're going to get all into that. Also, we got some other good things to talk about because the All-Star reserves will be announced tonight. So we're going to predict who we think will make it. And then also, Adam Silver has some interesting projections on how he should change up the NBA. So we'll talk about that as well. And SGA put on another MVP performance. So we got to get into that. But fellas, before we do anything, I told y'all we had a special guest coming on today. And we got a special guest coming on today. We got an NBA vet, an NBA champion as well, a Gonzaga legend. I'm talking about, Ox. I'm talking about a West Coast Conference Gonzaga Bulldog legend coming on today. I got my man, Austin Daye. He's here to rock with us. How you feeling today, Austin?
I'm doing good, fellas. Can you see me?
Yeah, you good.
You guys can see me? All right, I'm going to try to get the video back. I don't know what just happened, but all right, there we go. All right.
Okay, cool.
How y'all doing?
What's up, brother? What's going on?
Chilling, man. Chilling.
What's up, brother?
Chinese New Year break. Happy to see some good sunlight, get some good holes of golf in, and just chill with my family. So I'm just here to talk groups today.
Shout out to mid-major. Shout out to mid-major Division I basketball. How about that? Shout out to mid-majors. That's what I'm talking about.
It came up at the right time too. I think. Yeah, it was just
word.
Being at Gonzaga at that time, it was great. But then being able to becoming a Nike elite school as I was leaving was really cool to see just how Gonzaga has just rose up, and especially where they are now. They're like they're the Duke of the West.
Yep.
Yeah. The WCC is a hell of a conference, man.
First of all,
it's slept on.
That's first of all.
Yeah.
It's slept on. But, it wouldn't have mattered. If we were in the Pac-12, it wouldn't have mattered then either. I don't think in 2009 and 07, I think we would have been probably one of the top teams in the Pac-12 and things like that. But it really was the out-of-conference games that attracted me. All the games that are on TV, all the games that were going to be on ESPN, things like that were going to be against big competition that weren't in our conference. That's what intrigued me about going to Gonzaga.
Like who in particular? Like when you were making your choice, like what were the teams that you're like, you know what, I want to play them?
Really, it was really Gonzaga from early on. Arizona State, and then they fired Coach Evans.
Yeah.
And really, for my sophomore year, I really wasn't recruited really highly because I broke my elbow, so I didn't play sophomore year to junior year in the summertime. So then my junior year, I started really growing and becoming like a much better basketball player. And then
how tall were you at this moment in time?
My sophomore year, I was 6'4", 6'3".
Oh, so you went on a crazy growth spurt.
Yeah, then my junior year, by the start of my junior year, I was 6'9".
Damn.
So yeah, and then I just kept my guard skills together, and then I just kept playing. And then I went to that junior summer, and me and James Harden played on the same AAU team and won 50-1.
So when you were at Gonzaga, that was when there were like Diamond Simpson and Wayne Hunter. Those guys were at St. Mary's.
Yeah, Diamond Simpson. Yeah, Patty Mills, big fella. Omar Samhan.
Oh yeah. Those are some good games.
John Bryant was at Santa Clara. I'm trying to think where else. Some other good players were at Pepperdine.
That was around the time you was getting recruited to St. Mary's, right? But that was a couple years later.
Around that same time. But I kind of made my decision.
No,
I'm talking my decision knowing kind of where I wanted to go after a couple schools, but I didn't really want to go East Coast really.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to go like too far from fam. But
you had I remember, yeah, bro, because I remember even watching Gonzaga 08-09, because you know who y'all had y'all roster from Colorado with Matt Bolden.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Matt
so
Bolden was
Matt
nice.
Bolden was
Very
nice. Yeah,
nice.
I think he went to
Very
Thunder
underrated,
Ridge.
Very underrated.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
was cold. Yeah, chill. He was probably like what 6'5", something like that. Like
Mhm.
a wing, like coming. He was crazy. Chill.
Strong,
Strong,
can
Yeah.
shoot it.
ball. He do everything a
Mhm.
little bit.
You West Coast dudes are different though, in the aspect that a lot of you guys, you stay close to home when it comes to school. Like East Coast dudes, I'm from the East Coast.
Yeah.
And
I mean, you want to get
let-
out of that
let-
weather.
let me
You wanna
rephrase that.
come to West. You don't want
I
to be in
do.
that weather.
That's no
You go on
nonsense.
one visit in January, you're like,
That
oh,
is
man, that's how it is. Yeah, then everyone.
My senior year in high school, we came out to San Diego we went to a tournament in Torrey Pines, and it's Christmas and it's 80 degrees in San Diego. And I'm like, wait a minute. This might be where I want to go to school at. But I'm just, it's way on the other side of the country. So I mean, I just think about you West Coast dudes and how y'all customarily stay within that region. Very, very
I mean,
rare.
we try, but the thing is too is that we're accustomed to the living, accustomed to the weather, and then also we're accustomed to the basketball. I think it's also different, like not necessarily a different brand of basketball, but like the Pac-12 is a big conference. Like if you're a good player on the West Coast, you want to be like either in that conference and dominate that conference, like the a la Jason Kidds, Gary Paytons, like all those guys, like, or you want to be in a position to go to a mid-major where you're that guy, or going to the East Coast, you know that if you go to a Duke, you know you're going to have multiple McDonald's All-Americans coming after you. So it's like you want to be in a position to where you can put. Well, I had a father who played in the NBA, so he wanted to put myself in a position that
Sure.
I could be successful immediately. You know, so
I'd also think that too, with you playing where you played, because I think that there's mid-major leagues that have big-time programs, and I think that there's big-time programs that have mid-major league programs within their program. I felt like Gonzaga was a major league program in a mid-major league.
At that time, yeah, for sure. After Adam Morrison came and
yes,
it was just it was a bigger aura around the school for sure. And
yeah.
By the time Jeremy Pargo and those guys started going there, Josh Heifeld, he was supposed to be a lottery pick before I got there, and then he had this mishap. So that's why we had so much talent kind of on our team at that one time. That's why looking back, I'm like, dang, I should have went to like a UNLV and just been like somewhat of a loner, more of a star, and worked on my game. Because coming out of college, I was playing the 3 in the NBA, not the 4. And at Gonzaga, I was forced to play the power forward and play the stretch 4. So that's why it's like you want to kind of find that school that fits your game the best and will prepare you for the NBA.
Yo, you know, I'm from Seattle.
Okay.
So like all of y'all games was televised.
Yeah.
I remember leaving practice, going home. I'm either watching you guys or I'm watching UW. Or if it's the late game, I'm staying up late. Y'all, you know, on the West Coast, it's UW was crazy at that time too. Like y'all was really going at it. But I say that you guys, like your year, 08, 09, that was the first year where we was really like, yo, Gonzaga serious. Because like they had Adam Morrison and then, you know, they had Dan Dickau. They had some other guys, Stockton way back in the day. But like y'all squad, your freshman year, because that's when it was
my
like
sophomore year, I think we were better. My sophomore year,
for sure.
That 08, 09 that you're talking about, that year, we lost in Seattle at the Key Arena to be the #1 team in the nation. We lost to UConn on a buzzer beater off a bank shot by AJ Price. So we had the game won. We just didn't. We tried to turn over the last like 10 seconds and caused us to lose that game. But yeah, like you said, like at that time, that 08, 09 team, I thought we had a good chance of like making a run at the national championship. But shit, we ran into the juggernaut of North Carolina.
No, but who'd y'all run into the year before though?
The year before we ran into Steph. Steph.
Mm-hmm.
But it really was crazy because going into halftime, we're thinking, all right, yeah, this is how we thought it was going to be. And then second half, whole different game, quick.
Yeah, man. But shout out to the
Austin. When you get to,
go ahead, chill.
Austin, when you get to the NBA, what's the expectation on your end? Because again, you know, you're young, you're coming into the NBA. A lot of the guys that you grew up watching are there.
Right.
So when you come to the NBA, what's your expectation?
My expectation, I just wanted to play. I just wanted to get on the court, have fun, and play and tribute. And I knew I was going to a team that was a lot of veterans and, you know, guys that just got paid. So I was just trying to get on the court. at that point in time, my first couple of years. So getting on the court more my sophomore year was a blessing, just be able to play so much that year from the start to the finish. But, just at that point in time, it's just trying to get your feet in the sand, and especially on that team that we had.
Sure.
We had a kind of bigger roster, more veterans. We were just coming off of a big trade with AI. So, yeah, that's really what it was. It's just trying to get playing time, trying to get on the court, trying to see the ball go through the hoop.
Yeah. You played with my boy Rodney Stuckey at that time.
Yep.
We went to the same high school.
Okay.
Yeah, Rodney was him too.
I know Rod had to be a monster in high school.
Yo, so when Rodney was in high school, we didn't go to high school at the same time, but I was an 8th grader. He was a senior. So I'm going to the varsity games like, okay, this is what it's like.
Yeah, that's what a D1 athlete looks like.
Yeah, that's what an NBA athlete looks like.
Yeah.
I mean, D1 athlete, but that's Rodney was different. Rodney, he wouldn't have went to Eastern if he would have had his grades right. Rodney was going, he was going to one of them, one of them top schools. I seen Rodney jump from 2 steps in from the free throw line. I said, "Oh damn."
He was a monster of a guard.
I don't know basketball for me.
He was an athlete. He was a different type I think he was better at the 2. I wish Joe D could have found that we found Brandon at a good time, but they were trying to find that Joe Dumars, Isaiah mix, and I think Steph was a perfect 2-1 combo for that. So.
Yeah.
Ron, I'm even looking at that. He brought up that year they lost right before you got drafted, Austin. That UNC team,
who was on that team?
Tyler Hansborough, Wayne Ellington,
Psycho T.
Yeah, Ty Lawson, Danny Green, Ed Davis, Larry Drew was a freshman. Tyler Zero was a freshman that year, bro. That team was crazy.
That team was different. I think they blew everybody out in the tournament. Everybody.
And people now they're not super plugged into, maybe 2000s and college basketball and all that. We talk about it a little bit, obviously, but I don't people. You watch Hansborough, you know what I mean, the way he looks, and I think a lot of people are asleep on how good he was at that point and at UNC. And then I'm not gonna lie to y'all, I remember Wayne out of high school. I thought Wayne Ellington was gonna be a star when he came to the league. He was crazy.
Yeah, I went to the McDonald's All-American game that year before my senior year. So I saw them. I saw Ty. I saw Wayne. I saw KD. Saw a whole bunch of players. But Ty stood out, and Sean Collins stood out, and KD stood out. But Ty, I was coming down the lane, getting into the lane. Couldn't no one stop him from getting in the lane.
Austin, when you get to the level that you played at, there's a certain level of confidence that you have to have. I mean, despite the skill set, you can be as good as you are in terms of your skill set, but there's a certain level of confidence that you have to have. Can you talk about when you first got to Gonzaga, when you realized, all right, I can play at this level? And then when you got to the NBA, I think I can play at this level too.
Yeah. I mean, especially in college. I mean, college was weird because my transition from sophomore year of high school to senior year was different than other people. I feel. Because, I had a father that played in the NBA, so he was like, hey, man, get your school together because it ain't looking like – at a certain point, it wasn't looking like going to be that type of player. And then my junior year, it just kind of happened at the end of the year in playoffs. I grew to 6'7", 6'8", and then I was 6'9"-ish. And then playing one-on-one with my dad before that time and then seeing how – because before I could never guard him real well to where I could always affect his shots because he was so good at triple threat. And that was the first thing he kind of got me into was the triple threat game. So when he was a good player at high school. He was the number 2 player in the 79 class with Isaiah and all those guys. He was a highly touted player and went to UCLA. But playing with him and playing against him just prepared me. And then also just at that point in time when I was playing against him and I was beating him, that only happened once. But I was beating him. I'm like, why are you letting me score? He's like, I'm not. I can't stop you now. So then it kind of got to that. I was like, okay, if I can beat him, I know I can really get at anybody. And then that later on that year, I think Josh Childress and some guys came up to an open gym at Sports Club Irvine where Kobe worked out at the time. And I used to go there to work out with my high school guys sometimes. And playing against Josh Childress, I'm like, all right, he's real good. But I'm real good too. I can play with these guys.
Yo, Austin.
College was different.
A lot of these cats don't know how nice you was. Like a lot of these cats don't. You know, like I said, I used to watch you guys' game.
Yeah.
I do want to say this. You were a little bit ahead of your time.
For sure.
If you played right now, I'm 6'11". I shoot 42% from 3. I will kill you in the mid-range. I got a post-up game too. I can get downhill. Or you would probably be
working on his third max deal.
No, I mean it's tough. You know, it's tough because I came in at a time where the power forward was still valued as like a power forward. Like we had Jason Steele in Detroit, we had Charlie Villanueva. But I started in my sophomore year. I started as a starter as a power forward. I started as a starter because we had some injuries and stuff like that. So it was different. But at the time, like, yeah, for sure. I wish, I honestly wish that choosing schools, I would have went to a school that would have prepared me to play the 3 in the NBA right away, not having to learn it. You know what I'm saying? So I was really playing with my guard skills in high school. And then for 2 years, I had to be more of a traditional catching the post, screen, pop, instead of taking the ball off the rim and pushing the break and making a play. You know, so I think that kind of affected it. And then also just the times. The times change now. Like, things are different. I mean, when I was in Toronto, I played great in certain games. In San Antonio, shooting the ball real well, 40, 50, 90 at times. And in Detroit, I shot the ball well at times too. So my third year was the most struggle because of just the mental aspect of it. You know, you say confidence is everything. My third year was it was mind-blowing for me to go from playing so much and having someone with a young lottery pick, from playing so much my sophomore year to not playing my third year. It was just tough for me. So
imagine that, Ron. Imagine being nice as hell, and then all of a sudden you get on the crew with a coach that now he's yanking you in and out of the lineup, and you ain't playing. All of a sudden, can I really play at this level? Am I really good enough? Even though I knew for a fact a year ago that I was when I was playing.
I mean,
but now,
yeah, for sure.
Here we are.
It messes with you. It messes with you a little bit because, I mean, the aspect of it is like you're a player with a guy in front of you. And and the thing is you practice every day in practice, and you kill or do things in practice that you're not necessarily allowed to do in the game. Because in the game, we're running a system. We got certain players getting this much money. This dude is making this much money off the bench. He has to play. Ben Gordon has to play and get to the shot off the bench. So you're looking for a niche. And my niche was never to stand in the corner of the spot shooting 3. But I had to learn that. You know what I'm saying? You had to step in and learn a different style of play that you've never had before. So that's tough, but at the same time, it's not an excuse. But at the same time, it definitely, you could see why my third year was so tough, and then my fourth year I got over it and was just like, all right, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna shoot the best shots I can, and shoot at a high percentage, do all the things that I can, and then we'll go from there.
There's a guy, Austin, that you saw when you were in the league that you was like, oh shit, I didn't know this dude was this good. Who was that?
Oh man. Joe Johnson, for sure. Joe Johnson, for sure. I mean, I knew Joe was nice, but I didn't know Joe was that nice.
It was a little different when you see it in person.
Oh, I mean, he dropped me in Atlanta. So, I mean, I'm a wing defender and a post defender. I had to guard so many guys in the NBA. I had to guard from Zach Randolph to Blake Griffin my sophomore year. I had to guard from Jamal Crawford and Joe Johnson my sophomore year in the league. So it was just, I'm guarding a whole different type of positions, just trying to hold my own. But yeah, Joe Johnson was much different than a lot of other players. Just his pace and the strength, the way you shoot the ball. Yeah, his mid-range was tough. You know, those are the toughest players in the playoffs. Is those guys with a good mid-range game and can have it score on all 3 levels. So.
How big is he legit, Austin?
Big as hell. Big as hell. Strong, just country strong.
Right.
Like one of those guys. Like not necessarily, he may not look like Bron, but very strong. Like same like Melo. Melo may not look as wide as LeBron, but Melo is just as strong.
Tell him.
Nice.
All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and get into it. The New York Knicks are on a roll, y'all. 5-game winning streak. Swiper, you got some explaining to do because they stomped on your Nuggets last night.
I ain't got no explaining to do.
Your man Jokic didn't really have
there's
the best
no explaining.
game.
He didn't have the best game. He had the worst game I've ever seen him play.
100%.
Ever seen it in his prime? 100%. Austin, I don't know if you watched the game at all yesterday. It was 100%. He was playing completely out of character yesterday. No excuses. None whatsoever.
Yeah, man.
It was horrible.
Is it possible that Cap might just have his number?
No. Because I've seen them play for years.
It's just a question.
I've seen them play for years. No, I'm saying because no. Here's why. But here's why. But here's why though, Ox. You don't get passes for literally playing outside of yourself. Like he was playing. I've legitimately never seen him that disengage offensively. To do what he,
I think that early foul trouble would throw you off. That'll throw you off.
Ox, why would you foul? Why would you touch foul twice in 15 seconds, Ox? Why?
Yeah, I didn't get that one. Especially the second one when Joker's running down the lane.
That's easily just a mental lapse. You know how that goes. You mess around, you see something, you just reach like, oh damn, why did I do that? You know what I'm saying?
But he did the first one. That's those type of things. Put his finger up, and then the second one he swiped him on his face, and the next thing you know. So he's the reason they lost yesterday. 100%. I'm not even.
But you know, so I'm not trying to like give him a pass, but at the same time, I am trying to cut him a little slack for that. You know, because we were watching the Clippers game too, and we were talking about, man, why do you keep reaching when James Harden dropped that ball down and put it there? That's because psychologically, I could put the ball in somebody's face, and it's gonna be so hard for you to resist reaching in there. You know,
with that so James Harden lure?
Yeah, that one too. I'm just feeling like
right there.
Yeah, but I'm saying just for Joker though last night, like that second foul, it's just one of those things where you just instinctually just reach in there.
I could be cool with that though, Ox, if he would have responded the way he normally does, and he would have actually inserted himself offensively. There was not a stretch in yesterday's game where he inserted himself in the game offensively. He was running from the post. That's the point. If he comes to the party yesterday, this is why I really do wish people listen more consistently. I'm consistent on how I feel about all this stuff. If you play, you get the credit. If you're the best in the world, 100%. But if you bottom out and everybody else is at the party, it's your fault. Like there's no in between for me. Yesterday, literally, he would not insert himself in the game offensively. He wouldn't post. He was taking dumb threes off the move just because he was like so out of rhythm. It felt like he was protesting to a degree yesterday. I have never seen him protest. That was such
it was just a bad game, bro. We don't have to take it there. He was
but I'm saying this is what the performance deserves though. It was I legitimately I think what he did yesterday was like relative to who he is, chill. It's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Was abhorrent. Yes. Abhorrent relative to who he is. That's what I'm saying.
And if he would have got busy and he goes for 35, 13, and 12, and Swiper comes up here and talks about him like that, and Swiper comes up here and talk about that, there would have been eyes being rolled. So to Swiper's point, absolutely. I mean, what we saw from Joker yesterday was definitely subpar. No, that wasn't good enough, man. I felt like the Knicks got whatever they wanted at the rim last night. They got whatever they wanted in the paint. There was no resistance at the rim. There was no resistance in the paint.
100%.
When Joker was in the game, I felt like they did whatever they wanted on the glass. And I applaud, and Ox and I had this conversation yesterday, I applauded Coach Thibodeau last night. We're in the third quarter, and the Knicks had a lead, and Denver goes on a run. I think it was like a 7-0 run. And instead of Tibbs calling timeout, nope, figure it out. And not only do they figure it out, they regain the lead that they had.
They had Nuggets had a 8-point lead at 7-11 third quarter, and then they ended the quarter with a 7-point deficit. It was a 15-point swing.
Right.
Yeah, but we do. I mean, me personally, I do like Tibbs not calling any timeouts on that. Especially if you're trying to build a championship roster, you definitely got to let dudes work it out. We got to build a mentally tough squad, a squad that can face adversity and come together. Whoever that leader may be, whether it's JB, whether it's Cat, whether it's OG, whoever it is, to calm the troops and rally them together. Yep. That's somebody's job. I shouldn't. As a coach, we prepare in practice, we prepare in film study, we prepare pre-game, we prepare shoot around. I shouldn't have to stop the game to remind y'all what we're supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying?
Now, Ox, to your point, I don't mind calling a timeout in specific situations. Greg Popovich used to do that, where like we come out of it'd be a halftime, and then you'd be like a minute into halftime. Pop doesn't like the energy, and he'd call timeout and get the crew back together. Like, wait a minute, I don't like what's going on.
How often did you see that, Austin?
One missed coverage. Hold on.
Timeout. He ain't like most important. Nope.
We're not gonna do this for 3-4 more minutes. We're not.
Let's get let's nip this in the bud right now.
Austin, what do you personally feel like that is? That even if you go into a game because I'm the only one up here that played football like
Right.
through college, right? So like football is a much different sport. Like we spend the entire week preparing for a 60-minute game, and
and I'm still better than you, Swipe.
From head to tail, right? Yeah, and nothing yapping. From head to toe, you know exactly what you're supposed to do. First down,
Right.
third down, second and long, third and shorts, goal line. We have a whole everything you know. Basketball, you go into the game knowing what you're supposed to do, but you still have these moments where you're just like not locked into what it is. What do you?
The game changes so much because foul trouble. All right, he's in foul trouble. We're going to attack him right now. The game plan might change. We weren't going to do that before. Now we're going to do that. All right, now the pace is slow. All right, we're going to pick up the pace. We got to get up more shots in a quicker amount of time in a higher shot clock. But at the same time, like as far as timeouts and stuff, you don't really got to save them until the fourth when you really need them. And at the same time, during the game, you want to kill momentum, and also you want to send a message. So sometimes you call in a timeout to send a message to your team. Sometimes you call in a timeout to stop momentum. You know that. But really, that's what it is. Just either trying to make a quick decision on stopping momentum, or we're trying to just get something right for the rest of this quarter. Like, hey, we're going to talk about this for a second, so we make sure we don't have these mistakes for the rest of the quarter.
Mm-hmm. And I feel like that's what Tibbs did. I feel like Tibbs, to Ox's point, I feel like we already know what the game plan is. Work it out. I'm not going to bail you out because this team went on a 7-0 run. You guys can figure this out, and they did. Jalen Brunson ended up. I mean, not Jalen Brunson. I'm sorry. Josh Hart ended up getting a rebound. They ended up getting a bucket in transition. Then they ended up getting another turnover, and Mikal Bridges hit a three. So they were right
was
back
down.
in
What? Chill. They was down 8 or 10.
8 at that
And
point.
I know the Nuggets had went on an 11-0 run, and this is right after halftime.
Yep. Mm-hmm. And then once they did that, I felt like the momentum has swung right back to them. Maybe if Tibbs calls that timeout, Denver, who now has the momentum, they can gain even more momentum.
They ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You give them too much. You lock in 15. Lock in 15. Hey, I mean, we're doing too much like jumping around. Lock in. You had an 8-point lead on the road. Lock in. Do your job. That's it.
Wait, but Swiper, because it looked to me, mind you, I was thinking about you watching this game.
You think I know? I can tell.
What's that supposed to mean?
Go ahead, Ox.
I was not, because I was just thinking like it seemed to me that they was losing the Jokic minutes.
No, they were winning them. They won them in the first half. Yeah. But again, bro, I'm telling you again, like I say, Austin, you can probably speak to that. Like even if you're the fulcrum of what you're doing, this is why Joker gets the credit for me for best in the world consistently. He's the most consistent superstar in the league. That's his thing. He always shows up. Yesterday, it legit felt like, I'm not gonna lie to you. The CIA just recently released the information about, like, we know for a fact there's unidentified flying objects that are in the world, that are in the water.
Average yesterday, let's be honest. Yeah,
we've seen
them. Those are just drones.
No, but I'm saying the White House, literally the Congressional White House report came out and they said, we confirmed, we don't know what they are, but we absolutely know there are things that are happening. They're in the water. We're not aware of, Austin. I dead thought that they must have pulled up on Joker before the game. And
Monsters? You know what it was, man? It probably was that Italian wine. He's in New York. What game is this on the road trip?
The second one, they was in Denver 2 nights. I'm sorry, Chicago. They was in Chicago.
And they lost that game. And they lost to the Timberwolves on Saturday.
Who they about to play next?
Who do they have next? That's a good
question.
Next,
they play 76ers on Friday.
Jokic overs.
So take the over on Joker. So take the more on Joker on Monday, on Friday when they play Philly. Take the more.
Take the more.
He had a bad game in a situation where it's on his stage. Probably was out the night before having a good dinner.
He might have been at Nobu. He might have been at 404.
Wasn't ready. A couple of quick fouls will mess your mind frame up for the game. Sometimes, like, you're not in the rhythm, you're not playing well, and you might be thinking about it. But at the same time, like, it's Jokic.
Yeah,
Austin. Here's the thing, though. We wouldn't make excuses like that. I'm not saying you're making excuses. I'm just saying in general,
no.
We wouldn't make excuses like that for Bron. If he just LeBron took 2 weeks off, chill. Like in his prime, we know he went to the beach.
In the middle of the season, about it.
He went to the beach somewhere, took care of his business, and he came back and he dominated. I'm saying he did that earlier this year too. He left for a week and a half, and he came back, and all of a sudden he can shoot from the three again. Well, let me get it. I'm saying that, like, in this situation, any other player that would have did. But here's the thing, Austin, and I said this yesterday after the show. Jokic is so respected that ESPN, that like NBA Today, they're not going to talk about it. First Take, no one's going to talk about it because they are so used to Joker like being so dominant. They're like, it means nothing to us that he didn't have a good game. But we have to talk about it.
It's not a string of these games. If it's a string of these games, it's
right.
One game against the Knicks, and the Knicks is a different type of team too. You got to think about it. Like the Knicks are a team where they're running the floor. You got 4 guys running the lanes, and then you got Cat trailing. So as a big, you're running to the paint, trying to guard these guys slashing to the paint, and then you're like, oh man, I got to get out to Cat.
Get out to that shooter.
So it's a different dynamic. A lot of teams don't have a trail 5 like Cat that can play at the 5 and trail and hit shots like that, and then set too. So it's different.
Hey, Mars, when you watched that game last night, do you not feel like OG Anunoby's just the best player on the court?
He don't miss.
Okay, never mind.
Considering I didn't watch the game, I'm gonna just side with you and say, he was the best player on the court.
I do want to say before we transition right quick, shout out to Russell Westbrook for making up for Jokic's lapse on the boards. You know, that's what star players really do.
But he's not getting enough praise though. He's not getting enough praise. That's
well, Malone said that Westbrook and Jokic are the most dynamic 2-man game in the NBA yesterday after the game.
Is that ridiculous? To be honest with you, Swipe, is that ridiculous?
They're dominating their minutes together. I want to say they're like a plus 17 like net rating this year. So like they're killing. I mean, it's just funny. I just think it's funny.
All right, y'all. If you're watching this video, tap in right quick because PrizePicks is the app where you can run your game, control your game, and win your game. You guys know the drill. On PrizePicks, when you play $5, you instantly get 50 back in promo funds when you use promo code PANEL. Now, it's real simple to use PrizePicks. First off, obviously, you got to download the app. Second off, you find your favorite players or your favorite teams in the sport that you like the most. And then after you do that, it's real simple. You pick the players, 2 or more players. You pick more or less, and then you win. It's as simple as that. And we're going to show you guys how we do it here in a second. But before we do that, I want to show you guys something very, 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 very special. It is a layup, a wide open layup, an alley-oop, if you will. Super Bowl Sunday, Patrick Mahomes. A lot of you guys are calling him the greatest quarterback of all time. Well, PrizePicks is giving us the greatest deal of all time. It's a big game free pick with Patty Mahomes, boy. All he has to do is pass for a yard. That's it. And you win that pick. And it's up to you to add on some other good picks and whatnot. But PrizePicks did their job. So you guys do your job. Download the PrizePicks app. Use promo code PANEL. You will get 50 back instantly when you play 5. And after that, we'll catch you the Monday after the Super Bowl to celebrate all the winnings that we got. In the meantime, though, let's go ahead and make it happen, fellas. We got 4 picks. Big Ox, Chill, Mars. How y'all want to do it today?
I'm ready to go.
Jalen Green less.
Okay, got you.
I see they just putting that pick right there for you, Mars.
We're
not even.
They know what's going on.
I'm gonna go real quick, Chill, and then I'm gonna come to you. I'm gonna go with this DeAndre Ayton and Franz Wagner rebound combo.
DeAndre Ayton and Franz.
Yeah, I'm gonna go more on that.
All right.
All right, Chill. You ready? All right, Ron, are you ready?
Yeah.
Because I'm muted. Because Ron muted my.
My bad, Chill. I didn't mean to do that to you. Let's go to the Memphis Grizzlies, man.
Okay. Let's see about the Grizz. Who are we looking for, Ron?
You know what? I'm tripping. Go to the Rockets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to bet on John. He got that dog. I'm in Gardner.
You about to get out that young boy.
I really just want to men assist and rebounds.
That's usually
Assists.
Yeah, assist and rebounds.
All right.
They don't got that for him.
All right, that's cool. Go to
I
rebounds.
got points and assists. I got points.
You ain't see that 3-pointer made?
Whoa.
Okay.
Which one? The 14 and a half, 11 and a half.
I should take the 15 and a half, but I'm going to take the 11 and a half.
All right.
That's Jaren Jackson rebounding, by the way. You don't think he can get 15? Just
Chill. You ready?
Yeah, let me see that Atlanta Cleveland game.
Who am I going with, the Hawks or the Cavs?
The Cavs.
Okay.
I think Donovan Mitchell over his last 6 games, he's averaging like 35 a game, something like that, 30, 34 a game. I want to see what him and Evan Mobley look like. Mm-hmm. Scroll up a little bit. Donovan Mitchell, 25 points. I think he's good enough for 25 more points than I think he's good enough for more than 25 points. 40. Let me see what Evan Mobley look like. Hold on. Stay before you do that, I just want to see the line on Evan Mobley. 17 and a half, 10 and a half rebounds. Because he went for 15 boards last night on Bam. No Jalen Johnson in the lineup. I think I could take the more on that. This line right here, Ox, 27 and a half points and rebounds. I'll take more on that.
All right, y'all. This is how we rocking. Right from the top, we got DeAndre Ayton and Franz Wagner more than 15 and a half rebounds combined. We got the dog Amin Thompson on a demon.
Hold on, Ron. Something popped up with the Jalen Green. I don't know what it was, so they took it off.
Go back. They probably adjusted it.
How dare they? Oh,
22 and a half. Still go
what
less.
What was it before?
I don't remember. I think it was 21.
Less. Yeah, less.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Ron.
Amin Thompson, a demon pick, 11 and a half rebounds, obviously more. We got Evan Mobley, 27 and a half points and rebounds. Chill's going more on that. And last, but certainly least, Jalen Green, we going less on 22 and a half. Ox, throw in 10. That's what we're going to get. That's what we're going to do. We will be back tomorrow to talk all about these picks. It's been
Miles, why did you go less on Jalen Green?
I've gone less on Jalen Green for like the last 12 games.
Have you won?
I just like 3 times. I'm going less for the rest of the season. Like I keep saying, either he goes less and I win, or he goes more and I'm happy that like it's a win-win.
So it's a win-win for you. I got you.
Yeah, and it's on national TV, so he probably gonna play trash. So I'm more likely to win. So yeah.
All right, y'all. The New York Knicks are a game out of the 3 seed. How are we feeling about the Knicks as contenders in the East? Has anything changed with you guys?
I know how I'm feeling about Ox eating and ain't bring no food for nobody else. I know how I'm feeling about that. I'm so sick of Ox, man. I'm hungry, yo. Did you ask if I was hungry?
So this is my eating time. Every day I got to get these veggies in me, man. Cucumbers, bell peppers, avocado. I'm just trying to get right, man.
And that's my diet, Ox. Yo, you chill. You want something? Can you hook me up with something, Ox? That's all I'm asking.
Crazy. I can't believe that, you.
And this is your man, Ron. By the way, this is your man.
Not anymore.
And my bad too. I thought my mic was muted. I'm over here smacking on the mic. My bad, y'all.
Ron, they're a game out of the 2 seed.
Go ahead, Ron. I'm sorry to answer your question.
Yeah, my bad. So they are the 3 seed and they're a game out of the 2 seed. How we feel about the Knicks? Are we higher on them? You still feel the same?
Just still in that same tier for me. I don't think they should be in the favorite tier, but whatever, right below that for sure. I think Brunson's going to be incredible in the playoffs again.
He's always good in the playoffs. They put this team together. If we're being honest about the Knicks, they put this team together to beat the Celtics. Period. Right. They didn't put this team together for anybody else in the NBA but the Celtics. And what they're going to have to do against the Boston Celtics is they're going to have to outshoot them. And I don't think they can do it 4 times in a week. I don't.
Austin, how you feel?
They got to outshoot them, chill.
And the reason why, Ox, is because I'm looking at their defense, and their defense, and the Celtics' defense is just as good as the Knicks, if not better. It's just as good, if not better, than the Knicks. I mean, they guard on the wing just as good as the Knicks. Their rim protection with Porzingis, not just with Porzingis, but I'm still waiting for Coach Mazzulla, to play Cater more and more in a defensive role, because I feel like that's all he needs to be, just a cleanup guy around the rim, cleaning up shots, rebounding, just that kind of player. when you get that, and then you add in the Boston's, then you add in the Celtics offense, which of recently, Jason Tatum has not been good. He has not been shooting the ball well. I mean, he went 5 for 15 last night. I had him getting busy against Chicago, but he was bad in terms of shooting. Jaylen Brown, I mean, he's up and down for me, but I feel like if they could get going as a shooting team, which is their forte, I can't see the Knicks matching that 4 times in a week, because I feel like they can match the Knicks on defense, and I feel like they can cover whatever the Knicks bring them on offense.
Let's see. Who's had the better offense this year?
They're better than the Knicks on defense. I think the offense is. I want to say the Knicks are better, but I'll check.
The Knicks have a better offense, but slightly, like
the second and third ranked offense. And then the Knicks
in the playoffs, that's different though too.
And why is that, Austin? Because you've been in the playoffs. You know what happens in the playoffs.
I mean, okay, if you look at it this way, like in the playoffs, if you hand someone the ball, who can get their own bucket the best? On the Celtics, probably Jason Tatum, JB, Porzingis.
Sure.
Or Drew, maybe before Porzingis at this point, because Porzingis
Jaylen Brown.
injuries like that. Oh, God. And then if you look at the Knicks now they got Cat. It's JB, Cat probably, and then who?
Mikal.
OG or Mikal? Like who?
Mikal.
All right, so then
to get his Swiper, you saying Mikal, like Mikal is just
to get a bucket. I mean, he can.
He's the next choice. He's the next best thing.
But can he consistently get buckets against the
Boston
better than
Celtics? JB this year?
Okay, well,
in the playoffs,
do you trust him more than JB?
That's what I'm talking about, Swiper. In the playoffs,
the JB's the
4 times in a week.
JB's the closer in that and on that team. So no,
100%.
I think
that's what
it's about who you trust against the opposing team.
Yeah, if he's doing it versus OG,
if it matters how Drew plays defense on JB the whole series, or how Derek White plays defense on JB the whole series, because JB is going to be the reason why the Knicks win. It's not going to be any other reason. I
watched Jalen Brunson fry Drew Holiday when he was in Milwaukee. I did see him do that. So, I mean, I don't think that changes. You dudes had this conversation with me a couple of days ago about PJ Washington. Like, why is he so good against Oklahoma City? Because I know Shea. I know this dude. I don't care if we playing at the University of Kentucky or we playing in the backyard. I know him. And I could get busy against any of you dudes. Wherever we are, it doesn't make a difference. So, JB, look, as good as Drew Holiday is as a defender, and I still think he's one of the better perimeter defenders in the game, Jalen Brunson still can beat him to spots. Jalen Brunson can still get to the rim. Jalen Brunson can still get his own shot. And to Austin, to your point, if that's what it's going to come down to, they're going to struggle there, because do we need Drew Holiday to match that energy? Do we need him to match him bucket for bucket? No, because if that's the case, if that's the case, then we're not gonna have a shot.
You need Drew and you need Derek White to do a consistent job on him, because to ask. I mean, they might ask JB to guard the Jaylen Brown to guard him. So I mean, if you do that, you got 3 guys that can rotate on him. But it's going to be really come down to Jalen Brunson and Cat. Cat too. I forgot to say Cat's name as well. Cat's going to be a big part of the reason why if they have a chance to win, because Cat's going to be the X factor as far as scoring easy buckets, hopefully in the post sometimes, and then also being able to stretch the floor and make Porzingis guard away from the rim. Because you don't bring Porzingis away from the rim, it makes it a lot tougher on you.
And we talk about their rotation because Ox and I had this conversation last night when we were watching the game. I mean, I think that Tibbs had his starting 5 in almost the whole third quarter. I think until I think McBride came in with the last 2 minutes left in the quarter. But other than that, I mean, he keeps those dudes on the floor. And it's not because he doesn't have anybody. You know, Tibbs is that kind of coach, and I stand on this. Tibbs is that kind of coach. As a rotation guy, you better do something when you get on the floor. Otherwise, you will be sitting next to me for the rest of the night. And it's not going to be long. As soon as you get in the game, something has to happen. And something has to continue to happen with you. And if it doesn't, you will be sitting over here. I'll stick with the guys that I've had, my starting 5, for the rest of the night.
Tom Thibodeau, like, I'm going to get my money's worth. We pay y'all all this money. I'm squeezing every single cent out of y'all. And you know how you guys can get your money's worth? On the GameTime app. When you download the app and create an account, it puts you in a great position, a privileged position, to get the best seats in the house. So let's talk about it, y'all. Let's talk about the NFL playoff games for a second. You know, like that heart-pounding, can't-feel-your-face kind of energy when your team's on the field. It's like you're a part of a big, chaotic, beautiful family of screaming strangers. And trust me, You don't want to miss out on that kind of magic. But hold up. Let's talk about buying tickets here for a second, because that's actually the hard part. You know, getting those good seats for good games in pivotal times, you know, like the Super Bowl, for instance. Unless you've got the GameTime app, it's going to be hard for you to get those good seats. So let me break it down for you. GameTime makes buying tickets so easy that even your granny can do it. 2 taps on your phone and boom, you in. You want to see your seats before you buy? Don't worry, they've got you. Don't want to deal with sneaky fees on the back end? Well, don't worry. They have all-in pricing, which means no surprises. Oh, yeah. In last-minute tickets. Game Time's like, don't even sweat it. We got tickets up to game time and even after the game starts. So what the heck are you waiting for? Download the GameTime app, create an account, and use the code CLNS. Let me spell that out for you. CLNS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply, obviously, but who cares? It's $20 off. That's an easy first down. So download the GameTime app today. Last minute tickets, lowest prices guaranteed. Now go ahead and make some memories, y'all. All right, fellas, we got a couple super chats, so let's go ahead and dive into these, and then we will get on to the All-Star reserves. We gotta talk about who we believe is gonna be snubbed. That's the biggest question I got. But before we do that, my man Jake Fascione sent through a $25 super chat. He said, "What is your all-time starting 5 with players that don't have an NBA championship?" I need one from each of you guys. Talk to me.
James Harden.
Elgin Baylor.
All right, I'll go defense. Patrick Ewing.
Is that me?
Yeah. We got Patrick. We got James.
For sure, Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. Okay.
What's that, 4?
Yeah.
Ideally, we got a point guard here, or you run James at a point.
That's
You know,
what
big
I,
guy.
I was gonna say stock. I was gonna say Stockton, but
I'm trying to.
Chris Paul's right there, but I guess
Russell
He
Westbrook.
don't.
You know.
Steve Nash.
yeah.
and
No,
then
he don't get no
Utah.
rings with the Spurs. Yeah. Hito Turkoglu.
All right. So what's the squad? What's the final squad?
James Harden, Hedo Turkoglu, Elgin Baylor, Charles Barkley, and Patrick Ewing.
That's a squad.
And they're still not going to win the championship.
Take Elgin Baylor off and put Malone on.
Why you have to
Malone,
bring
Carl,
Steve
and Charles.
I don't want Charles Barkley on the crew. I'm taking Malone, but you
Do
can have,
what?
You can have Charles on the crew. That's fine.
I want the better post scorer. Give me Charles Barkley.
We playing with current rules, or we playing where he can back down for 20 seconds?
I mean,
If
he can't back down for 20 seconds, he can back down for 10.
Well,
Yeah,
the
I
rule
should
is
have said
5.
Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, the rule is 5. So
Okay, so he could back down for 5 seconds. So now you're speeding Charles up.
is that a good thing?
I mean, Charles had
Yes.
game it wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah.
Some players, it just don't matter. Like he changed the rule. It had nothing to do with anything else than he was too dominant at one thing. All right, we need to change this.
That's facts. He is responsible for some rule changes.
And
it doesn't get
Shaq is responsible for a bunch of 7-footers getting paid over time. Just guard him. That third guy on the bench.
That's
Can you
crazy.
run and chew gum at the same time? All right, come on, man. We got 6 fouls. We got 6 fouls for you. Come on, my man.
How many?
Yeah, a lot of people do owe Shaq like credit for their career. Like they should be thankful for him.
All you coming in to do is put a body on him and foul. That's it.
Foul 4 times and you did your job. Play 10
That's
minutes,
it.
foul 4 times, you did your job.
Here go $500,000. Come on.
Hey, that's not a bad
Some
game.
people are
It
different.
is not, Mars. It is not. And on top of that, I can do this for a long time too. This is not like something I can do for only like 1 or 2 years. No, I can do this for a long time.
I don't know how long can you do it catching elbows from Shaq, man.
Well, I don't got to see him like every night. So I mean, I ain't seen Shaq every
Four
night.
times a year and hope you don't see him in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
That's a good gig, yo. I'll take it. I will take it.
Jay got games. Said Dub Knicks, Brunson 30 points, 15 assists. Talk about that. We haven't really talked about Jalen Brunson getting busy last night and being the best player on the floor.
Because apparently it was OG Anunoby, so that's why. Yeah,
that's why we didn't talk about it.
Yeah,
that's probably why.
But I think Brunson heard you guys say that De'Aaron Fox is better than him. I think that's what happened.
Who?
So
Whoa, who said that? Who said that?
The two people next to you. Yeah.
Okay, but why?
Oh,
no,
three
man.
people up
That's
here.
not no, Mars. Don't misrepresent me because I said last year. I said last year that Jalen Brunson convinced me. I also said that I'm not going to argue the De'Aaron Fox over Jalen Brunson. I'm 100% okay with that. It was the last 4 names on that list that I had a big issue with.
Yeah, chill. What?
Chill said it. Chill.
What is what? And then, if I remember correctly, I think I got hit in the head in the middle of the show yesterday. Did you say that Fox and Brunson were on the same tier offensively?
I said that. Yes, I did say that. Yeah.
Fox not far behind Swipe. He's not far.
I don't know whether when we talk
better
about
shooter,
Fox,
better mid-range shooter, better playmaker, better passer.
No,
better
see that, and that's where you lose me.
Which
no,
part is
that's
no?
That's
he is
what,
a better
okay. That's where you lose me. That's where you lose me right there.
He just had 4 straight 40 and 10 games in the playoffs. Like
wait, which part lost you? Because Swiper said a lot of things.
But he lost me when he said better driver, better mid-range shooter.
I don't think he's better at getting into the lane, but I don't think he is neither. I think he's better at making decisions in the lane.
And I think his stop and pop game. I don't think you talk about his stop and pop.
Physically capable of getting to the rim, but at what point do we just acknowledge that he just doesn't?
But he does though, Mars. Yeah, he might not get to the rim as much. He might not get to the rim.
Jalen Brunson gets the ball in the paint more than De'Aaron Fox does.
But this is also what we got to factor in. It's like as fast as De'Aaron is, De'Aaron's 6'4". Jalen Brunson's 6 foot, 6'1".
Yeah.
Like it. You know how hard it is to guard them little crafty guards.
Right.
Like just because he's faster.
Yeah, that's credit to him. I won't argue that part.
You know, like
that's what it is.
Jalen Brunson's still fast too. Yeah, crazy.
He's also like, I think he's legitimately stronger too, though. I think his strength plays a big part in that.
I don't know. I think it's the center of gravity, the where his strength is. You know, he gets lower than De'Aaron.
But it's the shiftiness, though. Those are the hardest guys to guard. Is the shifty ones.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Not the fast ones. The fast ones.
He got some wheels too when he turns it on.
It's the same thing. Like even though LeBron is much stronger, faster than me, and when I had to guard him, it was like, all right, I got to keep my space. I got to do this. I got to do that. But I'm not worried about him going east-west. He's going north-south.
Sure.
And not saying De'Aaron Fox is just north-south, but he's definitely not as shifty as Jalen Brunson. And just like you watched Shea last night, he didn't blow by a soul, but a couple times. But he gets to his spots so easily. He gets to his spot so easily because he's so shifty.
Right. And I think that's good at creating space. But, I mean, I think that with De'Aaron Fox in transition, his stop and pop game, how lethal that is, him getting downhill and getting to the rim and finishing at the rim, and when he does it. So when we get into the meat and potatoes of games, as good as Brunson is as a clutch player, I feel like De'Aaron Fox is just as good, if not better than that. I feel like De'Aaron Fox.
We've seen Brunson do it in the playoffs though,
and we've also seen De'Aaron Fox do it in the playoffs too recently.
When?
Right, so
2 years,
2 years ago.
I think no, don't, bro. I think he can do that, but I'm saying like he
was picking on them dudes in the playoffs.
There is something to like between the first and third quarter. De'Aaron can be very like flawless, like just not be there offensively, and then in the fourth quarter he will absolutely turn up when it matters. But I think
Brunson don't have sleepers.
And not just
Jokic have one. Everyone has sleepers. That's
100% they do. 100%.
But I'm not. I think if you're talking about Brunson, though, I think Brunson has proven at this point in time that he is one of the best floor raising point guards like in the sport, and he has the ability to score, play, make, and pass that I don't think a lot of other guards. I don't know how many other guards like can actually put the combination of. He can get into a lane. He's extremely smart in the half court section. He knows how to beat angles either to the rim, to the corner. I think he takes advantage of the fact that he can create contact like better than any other point guard in the league, which is, I know people don't love it, whatever, but like he just knows.
You suggesting that Brunson is more physical than De'Aaron Fox?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I think he is. But the thing with De'Aaron Fox, I think we keep overlooking is the fact that as a team. First, there was the first thing. First, De'Aaron Fox, I think he's an example of when expanding your game can make your game look lesser than. when he decided that he was going to try to start getting up more threes, and his 3-point percentage, I think, was trending upwards his whole career. And then he started kind of expanding it out, was working out with Steph. And I think that kind of took away from his downhill, the things that made him great. And then this year, with the addition of DeMar DeRozan, it's like, okay, now in those third quarter stretches, the end of the game, fourth quarter, a lot of those shots now are being taken by DeMar DeRozan. It's not that De'Aaron Fox got worse or he's not capable of doing these things. I just think that he's expanded his game a little bit, and the team has expanded as far as what his role is. You know what I'm saying? So if you look at that, and once again, like I said yesterday, De'Aaron Fox is still having a hell of a season. I think the fingers kind of slow. I think the fingers kind of slowed him down these past couple weeks. But De'Aaron Fox has still been having a hell of a season though. And I mean, shout out to Jalen Brunson. You said Jalen Brunson is better. I'm fine.
But I think also I think if you look at it too, like they're in two different systems. JB's in the system where he plays to play make and score for himself, and he has the ball in his hands a lot. De'Aaron Fox has the ball in his hands a lot too, but Sabonis is a big hub in the offense where he's off the ball a lot. So like,
I feel like they run the offense through him more than
Sabonis. Yeah. Like so, when you look at the games, he's the one getting 12 assists here and there at times too. Like so, like with that, you got to adjust your game. Can you play like Steph? Can you run more off screens? Can you get downhill in other ways? Without having the ball. So that's I think his just adjustment this year is trying to. I mean, also in last year, just trying to adjust to him being the hub, not just playing 1-5 pick and roll, 1-4 pick and roll all the time.
Right.
Now, JB gets to do that, or he runs a play for somebody else. He's not necessarily handing it off to the cat all the time and just running to the corner and chilling.
Right, and don't forget too, like we talked about too, though. De'Aaron clears him on the defensive end of the ball.
Sure.
Like on the offensive side of the ball, we can have a discussion, and even if we come to the conclusion that JB is better on the offensive end, there is no discussion to be had on the defensive end of the court.
I just don't think it matters all that much between these two.
Yes,
personally.
It does. It
100% does matter.
I don't think Fox is having that good of a defensive season.
The ball pressure that De'Aaron Fox applies is you can't overlook that.
I just don't think he's as good of a defender this year as you want. Because we have this argument. I
understand you don't think so.
Even if he's not,
I got to say that I strongly disagree with you. The ball pressure he applies is you can't overlook. He's playing in these passing lanes. On top of that, the other thing is Keon Ellis and Keegan Murray, I think, are taking a lot of these assignments on perimeter players to where,
and that doesn't lessen the defender that Fox is. That doesn't lessen.
He's still not in the class of the. So for you, first off, we had this argument a couple months ago, Austin, and they said that they think Fox is an All NBA level defender, and I said that. I said
vehemently
disagreed.
I said vehemently at an all-league defensive level.
100%. 100% disagree with that. So, but I said that then. But I also think this year you have to take into account that Fox has also this year. I don't think he's been like a consistent positive plus on that end throughout this season. Now, again, not why do you small game sample because he's not been as good. Has he been as good off ball this year and staying in focus, staying locked with his man, staying focused off balls, weak side help defender? Has he done that this year? And I'm asking myself, not you, Ox. Has he done that this year as good as he has in recent years? I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. But I don't think he's a bad defender. But I also don't think – I think there's a big enough offensive gap between De'Aaron Fox and Jalen Brunson to where Jalen Brunson's legitimately like an MVP level player for me in this league. De'Aaron Fox just doesn't touch that. I think Jalen Brunson is that good that he can scratch top 10, top 12, and be one of the 10 best players in a season. Fox just cannot reach, has not reached that level yet.
I think they put the ball in Jalen Brunson's hands, and the offense, with him being the primary ball handler, it runs through him, so it looks a bit different. Meanwhile, you got Sacramento, who has a really good passer, and Sabonis, who they run the offense through, even though De'Aaron Fox is the primary ball handler and he does a lot with the ball, he doesn't have the ball in his hands as much as Jalen Brunson. So you see a lot of different.
Are we doing usage or what are we doing by that? Time of possession with ball?
He leads the league in time of possession. And this is the second year in a row he's done that.
Second year in a row. Mars and I have actually had
he's still more efficient though, even with that.
If he has the ball all game and the Knicks have the second best offense in the league, like that means you're practically giving him the credit for the Knicks offense being the second best in the league.
But here's the difference, though, Mars.
No,
the difference is
we're not.
No,
he controls
I'm not, Mars.
everything, and he's responsible for the offense. And they have the second best offense in the league.
Okay, and last season, where were they in offense?
I'll look.
Right, because I don't think they were bad last year. This is the same.
No, they were a
team.
good offense last year. They were
a damn good offense, but they got better offensive players this year than they did last year.
But Chill, you using last year. Last year with again because I want to we're actually
offense.
So they were top 10 in the league in offense. Sure. Now this year they got better offensive players. They got OG Anunoby. They got Mikal Bridges. They got Cat. They got guys who stretch the floor.
But they had your guy. They had your guy who you said
none
was
of us
better
up
than,
here
than Victor Wembanyama last year playing offense last year in Julius Randle, and they had a good offense last year.
They did have a good offense, but
Jalen Brunson last year was their best offensive player. I don't know if you can disagree with that. Last year with Jalen Brunson on the court, they had a 122.94 offensive rating last year, which would have been tops in the league by far. Which would have been tops in the league because of Jalen Brunson. And they got Cat this year, and there's win on court 121 offensive rating with Brunson this year. So back-to-back seasons, they have had basically the best offense in the sport when Brunson's been on the court this year.
Sure,
that matters.
And right, it does matter. And this year, with having the better offense, is because they have better offensive players this season. If I look at what's going on in Sacramento, they do run the offense through Sabonis. With them running the offense through Sabonis, and they've had guys in and out of the lineup, which them having guys in and out of the lineup, with De'Aaron Fox not having the ball in his hands as much as Jalen Brunson, he won't be as effective as an offensive player as Jalen Brunson.
So Brunson has the ball more and is more efficient.
With better offensive players.
Last year, Brunson had the ball more and was more efficient.
This year we're talking about.
This year.
He's saying last year with lesser offensive players, the same thing was true. That's what he's saying. So he's saying
that I
understand use the better offensive talent argument when last year the same thing was true. That's what
I understand that point. What I'm asking you is with Jalen Brunson and why am I drawing a blank on his name? I'm sorry. De'Aaron Fox. Jalen Brunson and De'Aaron Fox. With De'Aaron Fox playing with the guys that he's playing with last season, how far apart was the gap when we're talking about offense? How far apart was the gap?
Yes. Between Sacramento and New York.
Sacramento and New York. How far was the gap? Because what I'm thinking about when I think about this crew, when I think about this Sacramento crew, they had arguably the best rotation player in the league. That had a lot to do with De'Aaron Fox offensively.
Malik Monk's wife. We're talking about Malik.
Okay.
They had arguably the best best rotation guy in the league. That had a lot to do with De'Aaron Fox. They had one of the best clutch players in the league, and that I feel like that had a lot to do with De'Aaron Fox. Monk wasn't just getting his offense all by himself.
Last year,
De'Aaron Fox was involving him in the offense.
Sacramento were 14th in offense, and
but I want to go even more specific because I want to use PvP. But I want to go to
on the floor.
Yeah, that's what matters. Because I think
why didn't we keep this energy for De'Aaron when he had the number one offense in the league and he was
he got clutch player of the year. And when they played faster,
because to Chill's point, the offense runs through Sabonis. That's why. Because to Chill's point, Sabonis is the offense.
Yeah, be that as it may, De'Aaron was the best person on that offense and the best person on that team.
That's fine. But Chill was going to make the claim that the offense runs through Sabonis.
And I do think that the offense runs through him. Like 2 years ago,
that doesn't matter though. That doesn't matter. Y'all can keep saying with the who the offense runs by, but he's not out there by himself. Jalen Brunson can have the ball the majority of the time, but he still has to rely on his other players to be able to have a good offense. You know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
Right. So I'm just saying, like, it don't.
Well,
you know
what I'm saying? That I just wanted to know.
Yeah, but y'all trying to use that like that.
And I am using it, but
I'm not saying anything about that. I didn't even bring that up. Chill asked the question, the difference between the offense. I went straight to that. Last year, De'Aaron Fox had a 118.8 offensive rating as the lead guard for the Sacramento Kings, which is elite, very good. Last year, with a worse Julius Randle on his roster, he had a 122.94 offensive rating. There's a +5 difference basically in offense between the two when they were on the court. Jalen Brunson also shot more shots than De'Aaron Fox and was more efficient from the field.
So he is.
So if you're shooting more and I'm more efficient than you, I'm probably a better offensive player.
How much more and how
better score at least? Better score.
All right, okay. I just don't agree with that, but
I don't either.
Which part?
The last part. If I shoot more shots than you and I'm in because y'all make it seem like if I shoot 15 shots And then if I shoot 18 shots, then I'm going to be more efficient with the 15 shots. It's not about the amount of shots. It's about the quality of the shot.
100% agree.
I agree.
But I would also say,
I'd argue that Jalen Brunson generates better shots for himself.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't think that. That part I disagree with that. I don't think that Jalen Brunson.
So like,
I mean, Jalen Brunson definitely is a tough shot maker, 100%.
And so is De'Aaron Fox. And so is De'Aaron Fox.
I don't think De'Aaron don't make tough shots at like Jalen Brunson at that level.
He just takes.
No, clutch player of the year is that's. I think tough shot making. For chill. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was completely on board. And Austin, if you watched that series last year versus the 76, I was completely on board with Jalen Brunson watching that series. He was making some of the most difficult 3-point pull-ups, corner shots, movement shots that I have seen of any guard. Yes, Jalen Brunson was doing stuff that I have legitimately only seen from like
putting up Michael Jordan numbers in the play.
Right. High-end, top-end guards making those kind of shots, like Kobe, Jordan type shots. And he was doing this with the ball in his hand, off the dribble, creating separation for himself.
He was going crazy, but let's not act like DiVincenzo wasn't going crazy. Let's not act like Josh Hart didn't have games. But that doesn't take away from Brunson. I'm just saying they all playing out of their mind.
I think the Knicks did a really good job.
They did.
Yeah, they did. And I'm not going away from how good Jalen Brunson is. I think that my point is getting missed about the pull-up shooter that that De'Aaron Fox is in transition.
But that's the thing. That's also.
But Jalen Brunson's a better pull-up shooter.
You only getting so many of those pull-ups in transition in the playoffs and things like that, because that's the first thing they're trying to cut off in the playoffs. As soon as playoffs starts, no transition buckets. We're not trying to give up no transition buckets. So I mean, I get that point as far as pushing the break, pushing the pace, getting into the lane. But I think when you really look at it, if you look at Jalen Brunson, you can put him in the post and he can score. You can't really put De'Aaron Fox in the post and he can score. When you look at their footwork, Jalen Brunson's footwork is, I don't want to say far more advanced, but it's more advanced. And I'm not saying because he has a dad or whatever, but you could tell at a young age he had great footwork. And then he went to Villanova where they stretched footwork. So when you see him stop, not necessarily stop and pop, but when you see him stop and get in the lane and not make a pass and fade away and bump the defender, he's creating such an easy shot for himself. A pull-up is an easy shot for De'Aaron Fox. But getting in the lane and making a decision and also making a bump fade away is Jalen Brunson's bread and butter right there too.
I agree with that. I do think. But see, last year was the year where I said that. What was it? Chill, we was on the show. I think around this time last year was where I was kind of like, okay, I think JB might be better than De'Aaron. Before that, you know what I'm saying? A year before that, I was with De'Aaron, but I definitely I'm 100% okay with that statement.
Yeah, do you agree with
JB being over there?
Footwork thing?
Yeah, I do.
As far as like if you put him in the post and you gave him 15 possessions in the post, like
you don't think Jalen Brunson is better footwork?
Make a better shot himself in the post.
Are you asking me or Chill?
I don't think there's
I'm asking everybody.
Oh, okay. I do. I do think so. I think Jalen Brunson's footwork
might be Kyrie. Like his playing on 2 feet.
Chill.
I don't know about you. I'm not sure. But Jalen Brunson's footwork on the block, Jalen Brunson's footwork in the mid range, you know, creating that space, all of that off of contact, because he does have a low center of gravity. He is really strong. So it's like I definitely agree with you on all of that.
I want to give a shout out to Anthony Edwards there.
So when I'm watching, so the stuff that you talk about with Austin, the stuff that you talk about with Jalen Brunson being able to get into the post and his footwork and how that's to his benefit, 100%. So,
right.
How is De'Aaron Fox able to do the stuff that he does? How is De'Aaron Fox? And I ain't even talking about in transition, because I think in transition he's one of the better transition guards in the league. At that point I won't even argue. So how was he able to get into the lane? How was he able to get to the rim, create tough shots, get N1s, get to the free throw line, make shots in the mid-range? How was he able to do all of this stuff at an efficient rate? I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't think he's a 50, 40, 90 guy like Garland or somebody like that. Yeah. But how was he able to do this stuff and still be effective and had the Sacramento Kings where they were? Because they were on pace last season. They were on pace to win 50 games before they were decimated by injury. And then this season, they actually
Sabonis was their best player last year.
Swiper, no, he wasn't.
What? Didn't
No, he
Sabonis finish
wasn't.
top 10 in MVP voting for a reason?
Man, he got a DPOY vote, man.
Oh, come on.
I don't care about MVP votes, but I do think Sabonis has an argument.
This is what I'm thinking about when I think about
easily.
this is what I'm thinking about when I think about De'Aaron Fox. I'm thinking about a guy who plays in Sacramento, who plays fast, who is effective in transition, who is a great one-on-one player, who I think is an above-average passer, because I don't think Jalen Brunson is a great passer. I think he's gotten better as time has gone on. I don't think he's a great passer. I think he's gotten better over the last year or 2 years. I think that when I look at De'Aaron Fox in transition, one-on-one player, on the defensive end, how he creates plays to generate offense for his team, when I look at all of these things, I think he's better.
You know, Jalen Brunson is more efficient in transition, right?
He is.
I'm just letting you know. Like, I'm just letting you know. Did you know that?
I did not know that he was more efficient in transition.
Did you know Jalen Brunson is also a more efficient pull-up shooter than De'Aaron Fox is?
You did mention that to me.
Yeah,
you
like,
did mention that.
Two of the biggest cruxes of the argument. Jalen Brunson does them more efficiently. Now, does that mean he's better? No, because there's context to a lot.
Now, when you're talking about
the pull-up shooting, I think is very clearly Jalen Brunson's better.
But I think also too is when you
when we talk about guys, when we talk about efficiency, that's the thing. Like in terms of volume, what kind of volume are we having? So Jalen Brunson, Jalen Brunson's volume.
3.5 possessions a game. In transition, he has 3.5 possessions a game. De'Aaron Fox has 5.5. So there's 2 possessions a game extra.
So that's almost double. That's almost double what he's doing.
Yeah, 3.5, double of 3.5 is 7. He's at 5.6. So it's like a 33% increase in volume. De'Aaron Fox has an effective field goal percentage of 50.5. Jalen Brunson's at 53. 1.03 points per possession for Jalen Brunson, 0.96 for De'Aaron Fox. The biggest issue is that De'Aaron Fox isn't as good of a shooter as I think you think he is, which is what hurts his efficiency.
Or maybe Jalen Brunson is a better shooter than I think he is. How about that?
Oh, yeah, Jalen Brunson is one of the best shooters in the league.
Maybe he's a better shooter than I think he is.
De'Aaron Fox shoots too many jumpers for how good of a shooter he is. And that takes away from his ability to get to the rim. Yeah. He's one of the fastest guards in the league, if not the fastest, especially with the ball in his hands. But he'd rather shoot pull-up jumpers. Right. And that hurts his efficiency. This year, he's negative relative true shooting. That means he's below league average efficiency. Last year, he was negative relative true shooting. That means he was below league average efficiency. I don't think anyone up here thinks De'Aaron Fox should be an inefficient guard or is an inefficient guard. But based off of his shot profile, the shots he chooses to take, he hurts his own efficiency. Mm-hmm. I think in theory, what you're saying about De'Aaron Fox is absolutely true. He can get to the rim whenever he wants. No one can stay in front of him. In pick and roll, he's unstoppable getting to the rim. I don't know if it's something coaches are telling him or he's in his mind thinks that it's better for him to take pull-up jumpers because in the playoffs, when teams are going to load up on him at the rim, he needs to have that counter to his game. I don't know what it is, but his shot diet, his shot profile, his decision-making actively hurts his effectiveness. That doesn't mean he's not great. He's a great player.
That's the separator between him and Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brunson doesn't settle for these bad shots. Jalen Brunson will probe, like Austin said. He'll probe in the lane. He'll get himself an easy look. De'Aaron Fox takes the first look that's available to him. He comes off that dribble handoff. He's going to take that pull-up at the free throw line. He's going to take that pull-up 3. They go under the screen. He's going to step back and take that pull-up 3. Those are fine shots. Maybe not for De'Aaron Fox. He shoots like 32% on pull-up 3s. But like those are fine shots. You're reading the defense, whatever. But Jalen Brunson isn't just taking what the defense gives him. He's taking what he wants on any given possession. Whether that's him getting to that elbow, whether that's him posting up and using his shoulder and getting low and bumping off people, getting to the free throw line, whatever the case may be. That's why he's more efficient. It's not because he's better. It's because his process is better. His decision making is better.
Well, that would make him better because I'm making better decisions. That would make him better.
But I'm saying De'Aaron Fox can be better.
He can do that. That part I would.
I think if you switch both of them, I think De'Aaron Fox looks even better in New York with those wings and then Cat playing the way he plays. But if you put, I'm not saying JB couldn't play in Sacramento, but JB in Sacramento, you know how the West is. The West is
fast.
Guards galore. It's guards every night. So you always got that. You got that, and then also you got Sabonis as a ball handling passing hub, and then you have DeMar, who's also like a spot slow down the offense guy too. Like get to my spots, throw the ball, post up here, post up there. Rather than New York, you got OG and you got
what about Randall and
Josh Hart, who are just running the lanes, just trying to hit threes and make drive-down kick decisions. So
well, do you think Sabonis? Austin? Do you think Sabonis or Cat are better offensive hubs?
Like who is?
Like I guess which one? Yeah, between those two.
No, Sabonis is for sure the better offensive hub for sure. Decision making, passing.
100%.
You feel like Sabonis would make it easier for a guard to flourish next to as opposed to Cat, or if you had to choose, I guess which
so
one.
What are you talking about? Flourish to what? NBA
so I think that's
flourish in numbers or what?
No, so I actually think that's where I think it is, right? Like I think it's not even that you have to put up like numbers per se, but let's say like in terms of fluidity, but even I think that affects your ability to be effective. I think your efficiency, like I think having a big that's able to take a lot of gravity away from you where you are on the court, either as a DHO player, as a pick and roller, screener, screen and roll, screen and pop, or even just basic, post game, and then you're just kind of playing off of that top side or whatever. I think there are bigs that allow for you they have so much gravity, Jokic, Embiid, for instance, that it forces the defense to kind of eat itself on the interior or wherever that big is, and it makes life easier for the guard. Tyrese Maxey, for instance, when he plays with Embiid or Jamal Murray with Jokic. So I'm saying that for you, do you think that which of those two bigs do you feel like would be kind of better for a guard to be able to flourish around in terms of having more the ability to create at a higher level that would create more advantages for guard play, like that kind of stuff?
I mean, it really depends on who's with me. Like, it's not necessarily the big, it's the wings that are with me. Are the wings in my way? Are the wings guys that need the ball in certain spots that I can't necessarily get down the lane? Like, that's why I think JB's in a perfect spot right now. He's in a spot where he's got wings that fill the lane that don't need the ball, that aren't really ISO guys, like crazy ISO guys. Like, they're not Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but they're guys that can ISO, but they're also guys that rely on JB to get them open shots, get them good shots, easy shots. But realistically, I think De'Aaron, the only thing is with De'Aaron, he's playing in a situation now where he's not as comfortable because now he's playing with DeMar, then Monk's coming off the bench, and now you got Sabonis who's putting up godly numbers. So they're going to be feeding the offense through him at times too. So, and he's playing in the West. He's playing in the conference that's so difficult for every guard. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the hardest conference by far. Like the East and West is just completely different.
I don't think they trade him.
I do think. I mean, we shouldn't. I just like I said last night. I wouldn't do it. I'm gonna hold on as long as possible. But I think that
I can't wait for De'Aaron to get to a better location, so y'all can put some respect on his name.
What you mean a better location? They done built the team. They done built the team.
I don't think. I mean, I don't think I've been disrespectful. I haven't tried to be.
It's came across as that. I can't wait.
If it has, then
am I comparing him to Jalen Brunson?
That wasn't the intention. If it has, then that wasn't the intention.
I can't wait for him to get to a location where he can, like you said, Swiper, flourish. And then what?
The whole
energy.
He's flourished in Sac.
I think
but you guys,
a great situation for him.
Ron, Ron? If he's in San Antonio, how we talking about him as opposed to how we talking about him in Sacramento? How we talking about?
Completely different. Because first off, you guys are just watch. A lot of y'all don't even watch. All right, that's the thing. In Sacramento, y'all don't even watch. If he goes and plays with
the people up here,
if he goes and plays,
talking to the world. I don't think.
So I'm talking to everybody in the chat, and then I'm talking to you specifically, Red Hat. So a lot of y'all don't even watch.
I'm the one that said Sabonis was top 12 in MVP race.
But also too, when he gets with Wemby,
watch the game to see MVP, bro.
When he gets with Wemby, I think he could play off Wemby a lot better than he could play off Sabonis. The dribble handoffs,
a worse offensive player.
I disagree.
A worse offensive player.
I don't see why, man. I think the
worst offensive player.
I think the Montes really helps him out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying right now today. Yeah. Go ahead, Alex.
Wemby itself.
I'm just disagreeing with Ron. I don't got no.
I'm saying,
bro, I don't think you like. I really don't think you watch Sabonis. Is what I'm hearing. That's kind of what I'm hearing.
I'm talking about
if De'Aaron goes to San Antonio, it's going to be a problem because you got a bunch of guys that run the lane that shoot threes, and you got Wemby trailing.
Some of those shooting lane runners are going to have to leave too.
It's the same kind of dynamic as the Knicks.
I mean Jeremy Sohan is someone who teams are going to ignore.
Wait, who are you talking about that's running the lane shooting threes?
Vassell, you got Johnson.
Them dudes gonna be gone.
I'm keeping Vassell. I'm giving y'all Tony Johnson 3 first.
Barnes. Those are guys that rely on.
Yep,
you can't do that. You can't do that, Swiper. If they get De'Aaron, Devin Vassell is no longer on that team.
Why?
And somebody else. What do you mean? Why?
They got 9 first-round picks, and they got Keldon Johnson.
We're not. Nobody's trading De'Aaron Fox to the Spurs and not taking Devin Vassell. What do you think this is? You think we just about?
Yeah, I don't
see. We just about to get worked.
I think if Devin Vassell is gone, which
what are you doing?
I think you're left with a lot of non-shooters. If I'm being honest, Stefan
What you
Carlson,
doing, yo?
he's not a shooter right now.
Oh,
Jeremy
chill.
Sohan
If we
is
don't get Devin Vassell, then we getting Victor Wembanyama.
What?
You choose. You choose. Come on, bro. We can't.
I wouldn't be surprised if the
Kings.
Kings started the negotiations just asking for Wemby.
I mean,
That
'cause the money
team,
went
that
down.
Sacramento team, when they drafted De'Aaron Fox, that team, just like with Joker, just like with any franchise player, that team is built around De'Aaron Fox's skill set.
They even traded Hallie to make sure of that.
Right. That team is built around De'Aaron Fox's skill set. Who is De'Aaron Fox? He's a pace guard. He's a finisher at the rim. He's a stop and pop guard. He's a distributor. They built that unit with Sabonis, dribble handoff, dive into the basket, rebounder, so we can speed the game up, which plays into how good De'Aaron Fox is as a guard. So for him to now go to San Antonio, Ron, well, one, Wemby isn't the rebounder that De'Aaron Fox is, so we're probably not going to be able to play as fast as we did playing with Sabonis. Number two,
what'd you say?
What type of sense does that even make?
He mean DeMontis.
He's
Yeah,
a better defender, and he's gonna.
one of the main
he's
reasons.
he's saying,
Okay,
he's saying you'll get more stops. That does help you.
I get a block shot. I'm outletting to
which
De'Aaron
blocking
Fox.
out of bounds. Okay, which you're blocking out of
four blocks
bounds.
a game, right? It's not like you get 12 blocks a
Wemby actually
game.
keeps a lot of his blocks in bounds.
And other teams recover that. However, Sabonis, on the other hand, he's rebounding. With him rebounding, he's throwing the ball out to De'Aaron Fox, and we're able to run, and we're able to get out a lot faster, as opposed to Wemby, who isn't that rebounder yet. He ain't there yet. So I feel like the team that's in Sacramento, they built that unit around De'Aaron Fox's skill set. They just got decimated by injury. They'd be a lot better if they didn't get hurt.
I'm not talking about the unit because we
sure,
don't know what the trade to be. I'm strictly talking about De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama.
No, they're not hurt this year, Swiper, but they started off slow, and now they have Doug Christie and they rolling. They're playing a lot different.
Didn't
They're
they
playing
just
a lot
lose
faster.
yesterday?
In the last 15 games, we've won 11 of them. Swipe.
Yes, they won 9 in a row,
Just
8 in a
let us
row.
Get this off.
So do you think De'Aaron's gonna stay, or do you think he's gonna?
I hope not.
I wouldn't trade him. I'm not trading him.
Wait, but he said he's not re-signing though. So like, I guess if
You could trade him in the offseason. You don't have to trade him right now. Like I'm not. Look, we got. Wait, but Swipe, we got 7 days to the trade deadline. I'm not gonna just rush and move you because you said that you're not resigning. I don't have to bow down and bend my knee to you. Like, yeah, I'll get you out of here. You know, we'll trade you, but I'm not finna take a loss like that, just rushing to get.
But the value, don't you think the
got
value
one more
is
year
going to be
left.
less
It's not going to drop dramatically. You know what I'm saying? Like we might, you know what I'm saying, miss out. But still, the thing about it is De'Aaron Fox is not going to just sit on. He's not going to pull a James Harden or a Jimmy Butler. De'Aaron Fox is going to be a professional and play basketball to the best of his ability, so that he can keep his value high. If we move off of De'Aaron Fox and just take whatever anybody's offering because we think that we have to because he requested a trade, that's just bad business. Like that would just be a goofball move unless we can, because there is a move out there. There is a move out there that we can make that will actually keep us good, maybe even make us better. We might not get a player as good as De'Aaron Fox, but it's more so about the fit. You know what I'm saying? Because I do feel like De'Aaron Fox, we've made moves and it's helped us and hindered us all at the same time. Because De'Aaron needs to get downhill. We're not playing like we were in 23 when Kevin Huerter was actually making shots. Keegan Murray was shooting the ball. We were running quicker. The lanes were wide open for De'Aaron to get downhill. It's a little more congested. And De'Aaron Fox is trying to evolve his game to be able to handle that, but it's just not looking the way we would like it to. You know what I'm saying? So I think we can hold on for a second. De'Aaron's going to keep playing ball. Let's see if we can get to the second round this year. Let's see what we can do. And maybe a lot of problems are solved when you win games. You know what I'm saying?
No, but
so,
I think but here's my thing. To defend you as a Sacramento fan. Okay, this is my concern for you. Is that you do win a couple games this year, whatever. They lose in the first round again, presumably. It's just presumably based on
that's not good. That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah, right. I'm just saying if that happens, right? And then Fox, the chatter gets louder. And typically in NBA history, and Austin, please, feel free to confirm or deny. When players, there's a known consensus in the back rooms that a player is not going to re-sign, and they more than likely want to be traded, even if it's quiet. If that chatter gets louder in the summer, typically your value depreciates when you move further away from the initial ask, because now teams know he wants to be out. And so now I don't have to offer typically, and I'm saying historical situations, as much as I would have
Well,
in
Swipe,
the initial days.
you're right about that, Swipe, and that's not just basketball. That's everything in life.
Sure.
That's in all negotiations. If I show you too much of my hand, you're gonna get a better price. That's a fact. But what I'm saying is, we're still not gonna just give them away. If his value depreciates slightly during the offseason, that's okay, because I still gave us a chance this year to make a run and try to fix this. I would much rather do that instead of just taking anything right now, rushing.
Mm-hmm.
And if it goes down, if the value goes down a tad bit, then whatever. But it's just like you're not just gonna beat me up. Like you're not gonna just give me anything. I'm not, to Chill's point, I'm not leaving here with a six pack and a bucket of extra crispy. Like I'm getting something. I'm gonna leave.
You're gonna get like 3 first-round picks at least.
But to combat your point, Swiper, well, number one, the cat's already out the bag, so it's not like it's rumblings and it's quiet. Well, it's already out the bag.
Well, this started last off. We talked about this a little. This started last offseason a little bit.
So the cat is already out the bag about him getting traded. So if he comes in to your scenario where they end up losing in the first round, but he gets busy, what kind of value does Fox have? I think he's got damn good value. Going into the summer
versus,
I think you guys are overstating that. Like all it said was that the Kings are exploring trading De'Aaron Fox, not that De'Aaron Fox is demanding a trade or he wants to leave.
Well, he just said
that they're exploring the option, and that he's not. He right now
with it smoke this fire, and he got one.
Hey Morris, I'll let De'Aaron walk out the door before I just take anything for him.
Yeah,
like, we're gonna get 2 playoff runs, and if you gotta go,
there might be a cap. We don't know. Like we don't know what the situation is, but like. All we know is that the Kings are exploring trade options.
Well, Mars, again, I want to be clear. I already said 3 weeks ago here when I remember this conversation called Walking Chad across the street, and we were having this conversation. I know that De'Aaron has been hinted to behind the scenes to sign an extension because he's won. Remember, we had this conversation. He's won 3 playoff games in 8 years. I think it's 8. I think it's 8 years with Sack. That is the actual. That's what it is. De'Aaron is hesitant to continue to sign an additional deal with this team because of the fact they haven't had any playoff success.
We'll swipe it. What? Maybe De'Aaron Fox needs to sit back and reevaluate that and think, why did I let Steph Curry come to the Golden One Center and give me 50 in Game 7? You know what I'm saying? Maybe De'Aaron Fox can sit back and ask that, talking about we only won 3 games and he wanted to win more. Well, maybe you shouldn't have let Steph Curry come to the crib and give you 50. Well, what was we supposed to do about it?
Hey, Mars, Mars, it's not like he's an all-NBA defender. What do you want him to do about that?
They were up in the series too, Swiper, by the way.
They were up 3-2.
They were up in the series too, by the way.
I knew this was. I said it going into the playoff. We didn't know each other yet. Oh, Chill, me and you knew each other. We didn't know each other yet. I said the Warriors going to win that series in 7-4 started because I knew what the playbook was. The Warriors weren't even good that year, and I knew Steph Curry was going to give them the pants, and he did. 100%.
Talking about he don't want to resign because we ain't win more playoff games. Well, you should have played some defense, and maybe we would have won some more games.
I mean, if Sabonis makes a few layups in that series, y'all might have won in 6. I'm not gonna lie to you.
If Harrison Barnes hits that shot in San Francisco.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
All right, y'all. We got some more super chats, so we're gonna go ahead and make these happen. My man Kai sent through a super chat. He said the Wolves rolling right now. 4 straight. Violated Swiper's king. He said spank the Suns last night.
Oh, King Charles. W.
He said spank the Suns last night. Ant is having his best season. Playmaking been great, and he's finding ways to be efficient. Him and Tatum, the same efficiency despite situation difference.
I seen a stat that Tatum shot above 50% 7 times this year.
Oh, let me look it up, Chill. Let me look it up. Wow, really?
And he shot below 40% like 15 times.
Really? No, Mars. That's not true.
Based on play right now, you think Tatum's a top 5 player? Not overall, just based on play this year.
Let's take it a step further than that. Remember that first team All Pro locks that we had? I don't feel the same way I did a month ago. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't feel that way.
Stop it.
Are you sure?
Are you
sure that he's a lock?
He's locked.
I think he's an All Pro. I'm not going to argue that.
Reputation alone, he's making first team. It doesn't.
They don't do reputation on first team.
They do reputation like that because Jalen Brunson. Hold on. Jalen Brunson finished higher in the MVP race last year, and he didn't make first team All NBA. And Tatum did. Tatum finished 6th in the MVP race. Brunson finished 5th. So it is a lot of it based on reputation. I told you last year I thought Jalen Brunson was better in the regular season. I said that to you directly, and he still got first team All NBA over him. I think JT is getting locked.
You think that was his spot? You think You think Jason Tatum's spot was Jalen Brunson's spot?
Yeah, I think Jalen Brunson was better. Jalen Brunson was better last year in a regular season.
Jason Tatum.
In a regular season.
So you don't think they're right there wrong?
When he finished fifth in the MVP race over Tatum, yes.
Jason Tatum finished sixth. That's not a reputation thing.
I'm saying he finished behind Brunson. And then
that's not a reputation thing. I averaged 28. I averaged 27 a game on a team that won 65 games last year in the regular season.
No, but Brunson was the number one option. The number one option for a 50-win team. That was the second.
And I was the number one option. I was the number one option on a 65-win team.
No, chill. I'm saying they said he was a better, more valuable player in one voting, and then in the other voting, JT took the spot. How does that make sense?
Well, number one, you can't be a better, more valuable player. Which one is it? Can you be better or more valuable?
You can be both.
Can you be both?
He got
Jokic is better than everyone on the Nuggets, and he's more valuable than everyone on the Nuggets.
But last year he finished top 5 in MVP voting and didn't finish first team All NBA. Why was that, Chill?
We've had guys. We've actually had. I don't think that's reputation because first and foremost, Jalen Brunson plays in New York. So if anybody had
they're not even voting all-stars incorrectly this year. Like they
don't say correctly. No.
They don't support their people. They got a city of 8 million people in it, and they're barely getting them in there. No, did you see the initial votes for Brunson and Cat?
Starting in the All-Star
game. The initial votes for Brunson and Cat were horrible. And they deserve it. They deserve it. The media had to get involved.
That might be because of last season.
The people with the credentials had to get involved. Should have been
starting over Dame. So now what we're going to do is the majority of people thought. I think he missed out on Dame by like 50,000 votes. That was a New York thing. They kind of screwed that up. But to your point, New York would have more of an edge because of reputation.
I really don't think people respect New York as much as you think they do, my brother. I'm sorry, Boston and LA, but not New York.
Can we
100%?
The Super Chat was about the Timberwolves.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Super Chat was about the Timberwolves. So I'm talking about Jason Tatum and Jalen Brunson. Can we talk about the Timberwolves turning?
They won 4 straight. I still think Julius Randle's getting traded though. I do.
Oh gosh,
Julius Randle for De'Aaron Fox.
They just won 4 straight.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I mean, they won 4 straight. They are now. Where are they?
That's 7.
They are the 7th seed. A game and a half. A game behind the Clippers.
I mean, it's gonna take time to figure that out, man. That's a completely different player than Cat. Guy need the ball.
2 games off the 4 spot.
Guy plays pick and roll with the 5. It's just a different dynamic. So I mean, it's gonna take time for them to figure it out. But I mean, when I saw the trade at first, I was kind of shocked, but it made sense for the Knicks completely. But I mean, for the Timberwolves, not so much to me. But maybe they're just looking for something different. But I mean, if I'm them, I'm trying to get off Rudy Gobert before I'm trying to get off Cat.
It was a money thing more than anything, I think. Also,
yeah, I thought so.
They would rather, because Julius Randle is up for a contract extension. They weren't interested in paying Julius Randle what Cat is getting paid, and they looked at Julius Randle like he's not as good as Cat. We'll pay Cat this money. And then Minnesota, on the other hand, we already got off of Cat's money, and it's a lot easier to get off of Julius Randle's money. Why? Because Julius Randle only has 1 more year left on his deal. He'll probably opt into that deal if they don't trade him. But if they do trade him, then we could get something for him.
Well, he has 1 more year in his deal, Julius.
It's a player
option
for the next season. So.
Yeah, I mean, he got 1 more year in his deal.
They can figure it out, though. I mean, Timberwolves is still going to be dangerous. But, I mean, as far as, like, it's going to be on Anthony Edwards just continuously to attack the rim the way he's been doing. Like, he was settling for a lot of threes in the beginning of the season, and now he's reaping the benefits of attacking the rim and getting free throws. So, I mean, right now I think he's seeing, like, what he really could have been doing at the beginning of the season, and he's seeing, like, how much he's getting in the lane and how much it's affecting the games. So,
right. I've been saying for this team, though, I think that they have the personnel. I just think they got to change some things up. I've already said I don't know what it is they got to do, but I think Coach Finch can figure out something with this team. I don't think this season is washed or anything like that. I know y'all are down on Julius, but he can still be effective. Coach Finch has got to figure out what the system is, how the rotations are going to work. It'll be okay. I think they can make a push.
All right, moving along. Cowboy Bob, speaking of the New York Knicks, he said no trades needed because the minutes they are putting in are making the Knicks better by playing more as a team. Knicks are ready to show transition scoring with a top 15 defense. They mean business. Go New York.
The Knicks have the three highest players in the NBA this year. I think Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, and OG Anunoby have all played over 1,700 minutes this year. It's like
Jalen Brunson ain't too far behind. If he's not top 10, he's top 15.
That's ridiculous considering how
So
much.
Mikal Bridges leads the league in minutes. Josh Hart is second in minutes.
I think OG is right after that.
I think he's seventh in minutes.
Minutes per game, yeah, but in terms of minutes period,
played,
total minutes.
Yeah,
So
total minutes.
minutes.
Total minutes. Mikal is 1, Josh Hart is 2, OG Anunoby's 3, and Jalen Brunson's 5th.
God dang.
The only reason Cat's not up there is because he got hurt. That's the only reason Cat's not up
Yo, you know how mad I'd be if I played for Tibbs and I was like 7th, 8th, 9th man, but I would be pissed over there. Like, bro, let these dudes rep. I'm trying to play.
You getting reps in practice?
Nah, hell nah, Mars. I would be pissed.
He probably don't even give him practice reps. There's something wrong with Tibbs. I'm telling y'all. Tibbs wired differently.
Well, it's clearly working because they're a game out the 2 spot. Right.
It ain't never worked long term though, not once. Never.
Yeah,
you think he'll start resting him in April?
All it takes is
March? He's not gonna rest him at the end of March.
Ramp him up 46 minutes a game. He's gonna be like, hey, this is what we need in the playoffs. That's probably what he's gonna do.
Josh Hart didn't Josh Hart average like 45 minutes a game, 46 minutes a game?
He did. They barely took him off the court. Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, there's no reason for me to think that anything's going to change this year. So if that's the case, what have we seen from OG Anunoby over the last couple of years? He breaks down. So obviously,
he's been great this year.
Austin, in the NBA, is that a thing, or the guys talking about things like Tibbs overplaying these guys or anything like that? Do guys want to play less, or is that just
guys want to play as much as they can play?
Hell no! Don't take me out.
Don't take me out the game.
Don't take me out.
So a guy like Josh Hart.
Some situations is different. Like when you're playing with the Spurs, it's like no, you're gonna play a certain amount of minutes, especially if it's like a back-to-back or something the case may be. But like most of the time, you don't want to come out the game ever, because that's just one more person getting an opportunity that you're not getting.
Right.
Don't take me out. I'm good.
It's money on the table. It's lunch.
Don't take me out. I'm good, yo.
Take me out. You'll see someone dead tired. No, I'm good.
I'm pretty confident that none of them dudes is like, man, I wish Coach would play.
Austin, do you think you could have?
Nah.
Do you think you could have played if you had the opportunity? You would have liked and could have played 42 minutes a game through the whole year.
Could I have?
Yes, could you? Like, you think physically you could have?
I would have died trying for sure. 42 minutes. I ain't never scratched 42 minutes. I would have died trying.
Don't take me out. Don't take me out, brother.
I mean, you playing 20 something minutes. You're gonna get paid. You're gonna get paid. You're gonna get what you want out of being in the league. You just get an opportunity. If you're getting 27 minutes a game or 17 minutes a game, you get an opportunity. That's what you're looking for. You're looking for that staple to where you coming in every game around this minute mark.
With Adam Silver suggesting about shortening the games.
Shortening the games?
Yeah,
he did see that.
Yeah, he said.
Like, what you mean?
WNBA 10-minute quarters, basically.
14 minutes.
You know how because 12 minute quarters is beautiful. Like you're gonna get some.
I think it's wonderful.
That's
but
a
like,
good game.
do you think if that did happen, we'd get to the point where Tibbs is genuinely running 5-man rotations, where he just plays everyone 40 minutes?
No.
You don't think,
will come in.
You don't think he would do that in playoff series where he just plays everyone the whole game?
Precious gonna play.
Induce.
Why?
Precious induce. That's it.
If the game is only 40 minutes long, what's his reason for taking Jalen Brunson off the court for 4 minutes? He already plays like 38 minutes a game. So like, why not play him extra 2? Why would he play campaign for 2 minutes?
You just got to utilize your bench.
Why?
You just gotta utilize your bench. You just have to.
Because in a series, by at least game 5, you're gonna be gassed. You're gonna be done by.
And on top of that,
I mean, they in game 47 and Mikal playing 38 a game.
No, yeah, for sure. But 38 a game with 10-minute rest is different than 40 minutes straight the whole intense game.
Just use your timeout strategically.
But you also got to understand when Austin, I'm sure you can kind of feed into this as well. If it goes from a 48-minute game to a 40-minute game, the intensity ramps up. You don't have as much breaks. You don't take as much possessions off. Exactly. And I know you play 40-minute games in Europe. So can you tell us the difference between the style of play and what that would look like in the NBA, 40-minute games?
I don't know if it would change the style as much as it would change like the possessions. It wouldn't be as much fast break out there. I don't think it'd be as much fast break because it's too much of a risk. 40 minutes, you only got so many turnovers you can give up in a 40-minute game to where another team's going to expose you for turning the ball over. So, I mean, for me, I think it would slow down the game a little bit. I don't necessarily know what it would do as far as the three-point shooting, but as far as the pace, I can see it slowing down.
But this is my issue with this, though. This ain't got nothing to do. The shortening the game ain't got nothing to do with making the game 2-hour block. It's everything that the NBA is doing to not start the game on time. It's the oversaturation with the ads. It's the fact that when you get mid-game, especially on ESPN or TNT, the commercials are 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes. Like, they could easily, just like the NFL, my whole thing is the NFL says there's a 4:05 Eastern Standard Time kickoff, chill. The kick is at 4:06. Game started. Like, we're rolling into the screen. They do a nice little introduction, and then the game is going. In the NBA, if the game starts at 8, the game don't really start till about 8:09 or 8:16. Like,
it's harder the NBA with that too, Swiper.
Start the game on time.
Yeah, I don't get how that's accepted. Because speaking as someone who's trying to watch these West Coast games at 3:30 in the morning.
Sure.
It's ridiculous that these games are starting at 3:45. It's the only sport I know that doesn't start at the time it's meant to start. It's the only sport I know that does this. I don't understand how people have just become acceptant to the fact. Like, if I know the Rockets are playing at 7 p.m. Eastern, I know I don't actually have to turn the game on until 7:10 because the game won't have started. That shouldn't be the case.
I don't mean to disrespect nobody's time or sleep schedule, Morris. Is 10 minutes really a big deal?
Yes.
No, like I'm gonna stay up to watch regardless of 10 minutes. But it's just the fact of, like, if you say you're starting at a time and you're meant to be a big corporation, a professional business, a professional company, how hard is it to just start the game at the time it's meant to start? You can't move the national anthem 5 minutes forward. You can't
just take it out.
It's clearly intentional, though. They're clearly doing this on purpose. And I don't know if it's so people can get to their seats.
It's ads.
I don't know.
It's ads and it's watch. People turning the game on. If you say 8, more people will roll in to watch the game when it starts, and then you get more ads on. So you get the ads before, but once 8 o'clock hits, you got a higher percentage of viewers, and then you get your premium ads in there right before the game kicks off, and then you can roll. So I get.
I thought y'all wanted these dudes to get these super contracts.
They got to do this. This is going to the owners. This is going to the owners. I don't want to hear that. Nope. Owners,
okay, owners. So in order for them to get their money, the owners got to get their money. Yeah, how you want? Wait, hold, real quick. So you want the players to get paid, but you don't want the owners to get paid.
Owners is getting paid 400, 500 mil.
So you can't take 10 minutes out your funky ass day so that these dudes can get a couple more dollars.
Start the game on time.
Start the game on time. You selfish.
The Super Bowl starts on time.
Y'all selfish, bro.
They do 4 hours of a pre next Sunday. I don't know, Austin, if you're a football fan. I'm telling you 100%. 2 p.m. The game starts at 6, I think. 2 p.m. They're going to have that Super Bowl Sunday. I'm going to be sitting there just like this, watching all 4 hours. Locked in. Let's go. Let's get it. But as soon as 6 o'clock come on, that game starts.
They have a 4-minute introduction to the Super Bowl. 4-hour introduction. They have a 4-hour
It's a 4-hour. Well, they have it in the morning. So they have it in the morning.
All day.
Another one.
It's all day, Mars. It's all day from 10 o'clock until the Super Bowl. It's a whole
lovely.
Day.
However, documentaries.
It's a pre-show before every game too. So that's the only reason why it throws me off. Don't do a 30-minute or a 4-hour pre-show, and then it's supposed to be game time, and now you got another pre-show during game time. Like, if I wanted to see the pre-show, I would have showed up before game time.
Yeah,
Ron, I'm just trying to make sense of you cutting the game by 8 minutes. Right, you're cutting the game by 8 minutes, which that's just game time. That's not actual real time. So that's, let's say, a half an hour, 45 minutes. So that's a half an hour, 45 minutes less that people are in the arenas buying paraphernalia, buying or watching the games. That's a half an hour less that we're on TV because now ads and things like that aren't going on. So what you doing when you shorten the game like this? Now the vendors aren't making the money because we're not here as long. All of this stuff adds up when you shorten the game, all of it. And this is the check writer, by the way, the dude who keeps the lights on in the arena. This is going to affect him too.
Well, I think the options are either that or shorten the season. And you shorten the season, you're getting less.
We
tickets,
definitely ain't doing that, Moss.
which is obviously which is
Hold
why
on,
you're gonna have an 8
what's-
games.
No, we're
What's
not
his
doing
reason
that.
behind wanting to shorten anything?
Mm-mm.
No, well,
That's-
you'd have to ask Adam Silver. Like, I think
Right.
it's stupid. But I
money,
think
money.
yeah, I mean the bigger problem, like
Right.
he says he wants the thing to be 2-hour time slots and stuff, and they go over. Most games now is like 2 hours 15, 2 hours 30 if you're on national TV, which I do think is kind of long. But I don't think the issue is the game length. I think the issue is how long it takes for them to get through the game. Like, there's no reason why we're in the fourth quarter and I'm seeing a review every 2 minutes that takes 9 minutes to complete.
Yeah, them reviews is
Like,
crazy.
the
When it
biggest
shouldn't
issue is
be.
how
We
long it's taking us to
it-
get through the game,
yeah,
not
it
because the
shouldn't
game
take
is
that
48
long.
minutes long. The reviews take too long. The timeouts take too long. Like, everything else is taking too long. That's why the game's over on it, and you're not starting at the time you're meant to start.
Do you like the
Tonight,
D-League,
the Rockets Grizzlies start at 2:30 in the morning. For me, I guarantee the game will not start until 2:42. I guarantee it. And then that means I will have to stay up until 5 a.m. to go watch this game. That's
Morris,
ridiculous.
maybe you should just move to America.
No.
Well, I don't know what to tell you because they're not gonna stop doing this. They got to get their money.
Oh yeah, they're for sure not gonna stop doing it. I'm gonna
So
keep
silly,
watching.
bring it
But
back.
like, here's what it is. I'm gonna keep watching. It's not like I'm gonna be like, hey,
So
yo,
I'm
you
really
don't start
shocked.
on
I'm
time,
really
you're gonna
shocked
lose
at
my
you.
business.
I'm
not
really
shocked
shocked
by
at you
nothing.
right now.
No, I'm with the public.
I
You know,
mean,
I'm with the public.
I'm not saying you, but it's not hurt. 10 minutes ain't hurting nobody.
It is. It is. That's what I'm telling you. It's the culmination of
It's
that.
the bulk of the 10 minutes. It's the bulk of
Man,
And
it.
y'all gonna be looking at ads
Crazy.
on TikTok or Instagram anyway. So what's the difference?
But I think
We could skip
away
those
from-
ads, though.
Away
Those-
from
that's
the
different.
away from the issue of the games not starting on time in the 40 minutes. I think the biggest issue with the 40-minute thing is, to Austin's point about if you're getting 17 minutes a game, you'll get an opportunity, you'll get a run. You shorten the games, those players are going to
Shorten
get
these
less minutes. The starters aren't going to get less minutes. They're still going to play 34 minutes a game. And like Austin said, the game will slow down because you only have so many possessions. You don't want to waste them by turning the ball over, giving out runouts and stuff. So the game slows down, which means the stars are going to be on the floor even more. So the bench players are the ones who are going to suffer. The 6th man, the 7th man, the 8th man who are getting 22, 23 minutes a game, that's going to come down to like 14, 15 minutes a game. Now, the guys who are getting 12, 13 minutes and trying to really make their way in the league, they might not even get minutes anymore because you shorten the game and there's really just no time for them to get run. That's the biggest issue for me.
And to
Teams are going to run 7-man rotations. If it's only a 40-minute game, you're not the 8 through 15, they're not going to play.
I
That's
don't
the
think
thing.
so, Mars. I'm telling
Yes,
you,
Ron- yes, Ron.
The
Yes.
intensity, yo, when you play open gym as opposed to when you play an actual game, it's completely different because not only do you got to play defense, they playing defense. They playing more physical. You got to cut. You got to move. You got to really get back to stop other teams in transition. You really trying to push the brakes so you can steal an easy bucket in transition. I'm telling you, your intensity goes up times 10. So it's like, it's not the same as just running up and down the court, running to the corner. Oh, I get the ball. I can take these possessions off. No, players are going to get gassed faster. And on top of that, you want your star players when they're out there, you want them to be at peak capacity. So you don't want Jalen Brunson to be out there gassed. You want Jalen when he's out there to be effective and efficient. So I like, he's still going to play premium minutes. He'll still probably play 30. I don't see, unless he's just rolling or unless it's a game 7.
So you don't see 34 minutes a game for these.
No, I'm telling you, they're going to adapt. And I'm telling you, bro, just like in the EuroLeague.
Okay.
A lot of Sasha Vezinkov does not, believe it or not, he does not play 40 minutes a night. Vasily Micic, when he was the MVP, he wasn't playing 40 minutes a night. Mike James, he's not playing 40 minutes a night.
But Ron,
he gonna get 30. It might even be games where he plays 25 minutes. I'm the
Yeah,
best
Ron,
player out here and I'm playing 25
what you leaving out? You talking about the starters, Ron, but what you leaving out is to Mars's point, you leaving out the rotation guys. Ron, I'm in a contract year, so now the game has gotten shorter. So now my margin of error is a lot shorter than it was years ago because as a rotation player, I play 28, 29 minutes a game. That 29, that close to 30 minutes that I'm playing, that's now cut to 22. So guess what now, Ron? I don't have a lot of time to screw up. I don't have a lot of time to just rock. I got to get in and I got to get busy immediately. And if I don't, I'm gonna sit on the bench, and if I'm sitting on the bench, guess what's going on? Guess what's going on? I'm screwing up money.
Hey, you better learn how to hoop. You
better
better learn how to play basketball the right way.
Well, see, that's not realistic though, because I am gonna screw up.
That's the thing too, though. When you talk about play basketball the right way, if you're a guy like Jamal Crawford and you playing with the Clippers and you come in the game in a 40-minute game, Blake's rolling, CP's rolling, you're not touching the ball for a couple minutes. And then now when I sub out, now I get to touch the ball. only get to play with the ball for 3 minutes. Now CP's coming back in.
Yeah, that is crazy.
That's what I'm saying. So you're not going to be able to play comfortable. The guys that are coming off the bench that actually have like a solid role on the team, there's going to be a lot of dysfunction for sure.
Yeah. But I mean, don't those guys have to
fight ready to go for blows for 48 minutes, 40 minutes? You got in-team fights all the time.
Yeah, but don't those guys have to accept that as part of their role though? Like if you, especially if you playing with guys like how you just named, you playing with Chris Paul, like just superstar guys. I mean, you got to understand, like if you're already not getting 20 plus, if you're getting 12 to 14 minutes, I mean, it's gonna be short. It's gonna be short anyway. And while you're out there, if you're with other scorers, you might not have the opportunity to shoot a lot. Gotta really shine on the defense.
What happens to the young lottery picks then?
I don't know, bro. I'm not sure. I'm not for this. I'm not for this shortening anything.
I'm saying as far as what you're saying is true. Yeah, you got to play better, play more efficient. But even in
right,
that, you're gonna have guys that are inefficient who are making $50 million per year who are like, well, swing it this way because I need to hit a shot right now.
So that's where I believe that's when you see these dysfunctional teams are going through things like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Maybe don't got any vets in there, or they just got youngsters running the locker room because they getting all the money.
I get what you're saying, but it's gonna cause a lot more problems than it's gonna help for sure. Because at the end of the day, the product is high flying, fast breaks, threes. You're gonna see a EuroLeague type game, and you're not gonna want to watch that all the time. Although the intensity is gonna be up like a playing game, but you're not gonna want to see a slower pace.
Well, I think that's this newer generation, this TikTok generation. That's people like Swiper crying about commercials.
This ain't got nothing to do with that.
When you don't got the attention span, but the thing about it is I think a lot of basketball fans don't really like basketball. They just like to see people jump high. You know what I'm saying? And so I guess you're right about that.
You lose 8 minutes of fast break, high flying, lobs getting caught. You lose.
I would hate that. Hey, is this something that just came up, or does this have some momentum behind it? Like, is this possible?
This is possible because it's coming from the commissioner.
Adam Silver threw it out there talking. I can't remember.
Which means they've gone through deliberation about this multiple times behind the scene. If
he's not going to bring something up if it hasn't been discussed internally.
This is
Ron,
crazy.
why are we talking about shortening games when the Seattle Supersonics are not back in Seattle? Why is that not at the top of the league business? Why isn't basketball back in Seattle? We shouldn't be talking about nothing until
they're going to put a team in Vegas.
Seattle gets their team back. I don't want to talk about Vegas. I don't want to talk about shortening any games. I don't want to talk about expansion until Seattle gets their team back. Ron, I've said this to you countless times since 1979. Seattle is the only city that has an NBA champion that doesn't have their team. They're the only ones. Why are we talking about shortening games? Why doesn't Seattle have their team back? I don't care about all of that other league business.
He gotta go.
I don't care about all of that. What I care about is basketball needs to be back in Seattle first and foremost. The hell with Vegas, shortening games.
It's not profitable enough.
They have basketball in Seattle. They have the Storm.
They do got the Storm.
Go watch that.
Losing Joe Lloyd, but
yeah, they don't.
Hey, but chill. Maybe the NBA is trying to shorten things so that they can add more teams without adding more players. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're like, if we shorten down the time of the games, maybe we could, cut a couple guys from rosters, spread people around a little bit. You don't need 15, 12 guys if you're only playing 40-minute games.
That would make sense. I don't know.
Just 10-man rosters.
I'm glad everybody else is waking up buttocks. The NBA is a business, and they're trying to make as much money as possible. And Vegas will be getting a team before Seattle because we can make more money in Vegas. They got
to bring two teams. They're going to
bring Vegas and Seattle at the same time.
Yeah, guess what? And guess another big city that don't got a team.
Mexico City.
It's got to be Vegas and Seattle. I think.
What other big city does
they're gonna come out of nowhere. I'm telling you right now, they're gonna come out of nowhere, bro. They're gonna have another. It's gonna be another Texas team, Florida team. New York might need another team, y'all. They might need another team. They might need to add another team in New York. They got 8 million people in the city. They need the Buffalo Tigers. Yep, the Buffalo Tigers.
Kansas City gonna get a team first.
Kansas City would be a great basketball team.
Yeah, Kansas City
would have a great.
Hey, you know what? I ain't gonna lie. I'm not mad at Albuquerque too, but
All right,
You know where I'm not
Austin,
mad at?
They're gonna
You
bring
know
back
where
the
I'm not mad at, Ron? I'm not mad at Seattle. How about that?
Thank you.
That's where I'm
Thank
not
you.
mad at, Ron.
Thank you.
Oh,
Can we have our team back, please?
Yo, Austin, I got some super chats that are, dedicated strictly for you. So I'm gonna go ahead and read these off. My guy Drink More Water said, games like last night make you marvel at Ace Bailey's pro scoring potential. Has Austin Daye's build, so he needs to put on another 10 to 15 pounds, but being 6'10 and shooting and skills is rare, or with that shooting and skills is rare. Y'all tapped into Ace Bailey?
Yeah, I've watched some of his games. Really talented for sure. Talented for sure. I mean, I don't know what's the mock draft. I know Cooper Flag's up there, but he should be right up there as well, for sure.
Yeah, Ace he's slotted to go number 3 right now, I think. Dylan Harper's too.
Who's 2? Harper?
Dylan Harper.
Yeah, Dylan Harper.
Yeah, I like Dylan Harper a lot too. So I mean, you got 2 guys that can play for sure. I mean, Ace Bailey has a quick release. I think he's got to work on just getting to his spots with his handle. But I love his triple threat game. It's a mixed
crazy
thing.
triple threat game.
Real simple. Jab you off, shoot a jump shot. If not, pump fake, jab one way, go another, pull up. He has a great pull up game. So I think he's just going to take time. The more he plays in the league, the more he's going to get comfortable. It's going to be scary.
He's a great shot maker. One of the best shot makers, I think, in the draft in a while.
Yeah.
It's the athleticism for me. Being 6'10, able to move that fluidly, and then also fluidly, and then also go up and block a shot, be in the passing lanes, run the fast break, catch oops.
Yeah,
you're gonna be able to plug and play him in a lot of different areas.
For sure.
Realist123 said, Austin, who was the toughest player you had to guard in the NBA? Now you mentioned Joe Johnson, but can we get another name or two?
Melo for sure.
Yeah. You see who he didn't bring a box?
Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce. Ain't said nothing about it.
Tough too, but Melo for sure. 1. Joe Johnson probably up there too. Zach Randolph when I had to guard him.
That's a fact.
Oh God.
How was that?
Having to guard Zach.
Yeah. Was it the strength or was it the craft?
Yeah, but it's just fighting for position. It was fighting for position early. You had to fight for position so early against him because if not, he's gonna get in the spot and he's gonna throw up a quick left hook.
Yeah.
So with him, it's fighting for position 1, then also playing close enough so he doesn't get off his 15-footer, and also trying to get him to go right, but still tough. No matter.
Good luck with that. Good luck with that.
Shout out Zebo for real.
But for sure, Melo, Joe Johnson.
Do you think as somebody who played against him, do you think Melo was an underrated is he an underrated player now relative to what people remember him as? And how good he was?
I mean, a little bit. I think certain guys are, when they come into the league, certain guys have the game to either take over the franchise and really excel them himself, or some guys need a little help at first. Melo needed some help. To not have a guy he had Chauncey Billups 1 year, and he got to the Western Conference Finals that year. And having guys that can put you in positions to score, especially a player like Melo, I think he needed another guard to really put him in position to score. When he had J. Kidd and Chauncey, but if New York too, he was unfortunate. I think Stoudemire got hurt right when he got there. So I mean, for me, I love Melo's game, but at the same time, he's not the playmaker LeBron is. He's not going to just come down the lane and make shots for everyone and shoot for himself. He needs to be in a somewhat, not necessarily a triangle offense, but offense that plays to his style for sure.
Swiper, I know we got company, but Swiper, you always talk about Melo we under the impression that we don't know how nice he is.
You don't
know how nice this dude was, yo.
I'm hearing Paul Pierce talks. I don't care what nobody. It's not going to happen.
Swiper. We know how nice this dude was.
Nobody up here took that serious.
Nobody took that serious.
Yeah, I still stand with Ox. I think Paul Pierce is better. So.
Sure, and even who venue bring that little. I'm saying nerds ruin this sport because
the irony right now is ridiculous.
Hold on. Nerds are gonna try to tell you that Paul Pierce, who never got the love that Melo got, was better at his apex. And
I don't care what love he got. I'm not looking at it. Oh, at the time Melo was more beloved. I'm talking about. I watched both of them play. I think Paul Pierce was better.
You didn't. You were not alive when both of them were at their apex.
Yeah, I never watched them live. Yes, that's why I'm going back without my biased lenses of this guy was a nugget. He was in my city. No, I'm going back and watching it with as close to my objective eye as possible. And I think
It was
Paul
for
Pierce
sure
was better.
close.
Swipe,
But that doesn't
swipe
change how
wood.
good I think Karl-Anthony is. I think you just underrate how good I think Paul Pierce was. Melo
A
was
little-
ridiculous.
yeah, I think
Anytime
a
someone
little-
says Melo was
I
the
think a
toughest
little-
guard, I understand. Not because I've guarded Melo. Of course I haven't. That combination of strength, first step, shot making, skill, footwork, and the fact, respectfully, he wasn't passing the ball, so you knew you was gonna have to guard a shot. I wouldn't want to guard him either. You gonna be
Hey, to his
bruised,
point, who am I
you gonna
passing
be,
the ball
you gonna
to?
be flabbergasted at how quick he is. Like, yeah, I wouldn't want to guard Melo, but that doesn't mean I think he's better than Paul Pierce. Like, I just think Paul Pierce was probably the better player, defensively, better playmaker. I think the added three ball, playing without the ball, all of those things, I think just made him the better player. But
I think context
if you
matters.
if you told me if I was an NBA level player, who would I rather guard? I'd rather guard Paul Pierce than Melo. But Melo would be like on the short list of players I would never want to guard.
Paul
Like,
Pierce actually is on record saying that
Kobe too.
Carmelo Anthony
and I
is the
don't
toughest
blame
guy
him.
he
Why
had to
would you
deal
want to
with.
guard someone who's
Paul
that
Pierce is on
physical,
record
but
saying that.
hard?
That
Like, why would you want to guard
having to deal with Carmelo Anthony is one of the is the toughest matchup that he's had. That's why I'm whenever I hear Swiper when you talk about Carmelo Anthony, I'm thinking, we was around when this dude was rocking. So we know how good he was. It's not
That's
like
why I don't like the revisionist history. That's why
it's not like we looking at Carmelo Anthony like, yeah, he was good. He was awesome.
Austin, how do you feel about
okay?
How do you
Swiper,
feel about?
I'll sum this up by saying, and I don't know if anybody's ever heard me say this before, but there was a stretch between 08 and 13 where there was a legit argument that Carmelo Anthony was the best one-on-one player in the game. That was a real conversation.
Well, of course. So.
That was a real conversation. That wasn't just fluff. That was people were really having this conversation. And this is when Bryant, Dirk Nowitzki, James,
Durant,
Kevin Durant, these dudes are running around. There's a real conversation going on. Carmelo Anthony is the best one-on-one player in the game. So I don't mean you specifically, but to insinuate that Carmelo Anthony doesn't get the amount of love that he needs. Yes, he does.
He doesn't.
That is him specifically. Do meaning him specifically because he always doing that. Oh, y'all don't know about Melo.
Yes, we do. We know how nice he was.
Melo was playing ball. You think we was just turning the TV
I heard you say Paul Pierce is is the best.
And I'm standing on that.
Stop
I'm
it.
standing on that. I got Paul Pierce over Carmelo Anthony, but that don't mean that I don't think Carmelo was as good as you think he was. I just think Paul Pierce was a lot better than you think he was.
That's where I'm at with it. I think I probably rate Melo.
Act like you're the only person that's
I rate Melo very high.
Like Swipe, you know that's not how TVs work, right? Like just because you're in Denver don't mean you're the only people that can watch Carmelo. Like that's not
so
how
crazy
TVs
to me
work,
that you
man.
say that. That's so crazy to me. I saw him at Oak Hill versus LeBron, so I don't know what to tell you.
You think you're the only one who's seen that game?
That's when it started. You told me you didn't watch basketball back then. You were still.
Oh, that.
Ron, you ain't have to get rid of him, Ron. You ain't have to do that. You can bring him back.
No, I ain't do that.
I'm a cooking. You don't got to bring him. You don't got to do that. Bring him back. I'll cook him.
All right, we got a couple more super chats. My man Drink More Water said, "Welcome to PC, Mr. Day. What are some skills or attributes you or other high-level players are aware of when watching games or players that are different from the average viewer?" Austin?
I think he's asking, what do you see that the average person doesn't see?
I think we lost him, bro.
Yeah,
I'm back.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Cool. Did you hear anything I said?
What was the question?
All right, the question, I'm gonna read it again. Drink More Water said, "Welcome to PC, Mr. Day. What are some skills or attributes you or other high-level basketball players are aware of when watching games or players that's different from the average viewer?"
It's tough. I mean, the only thing is, I think that NBA players usually have a good eye for other NBA talent. Just pace, skill set, how their jumper looks, if not how well they shoot the ball. But as far as skills, just the knowledge, like the knowledge of the game, just understanding the game, knowing when's a good pass, when's a good shot here, there. That's the basics, really.
All right. And I guess it's about that time, y'all. And before we get into this, let me shout out our Hall of Famers. We got Cobra Son of Raditz. We got Tracy Steele. We got Multi Kenny. J-Hub, you were the latest Hall of Famer, so I appreciate you for joining. But we got a new Hall of Famer yesterday by the name of Vale. So I got to shout out my man Vale. I think he came on to playback with us last night. So shout out to Vale. He was kicking it with us last night. He's a Hall of Famer now. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the highest tier. But let's get into this next super chat. Austin, I asked you about your top 10 all time, and Cole sent through a members chat. He said, can we get Austin Daye's top 10 all time right now? So they're tired of waiting. They want to hear your top 10. So let's go ahead and get into it.
I think I should have wrote it down, but I think I had Mike, Bron, Magic, Kobe, Shaq. I think it was Kareem, Hakeem. Oh, excuse me. I'll put Tim Duncan before Kareem and Hakeem. Tim Duncan, Hakeem, Kareem, Larry Bird, Steph.
That's a solid list.
Damn, no Scottie Pippen is crazy. But
I like that list.
You said what?
no Scottie Pippen is crazy, but okay. It's a fire list.
Yeah, I mean that's what I came up with. Like from on top of my head, just all time. I think Steph jumped in there a couple years ago after getting his fourth, and then Tim. I don't know how Tim is not in everyone's top 10. I don't understand.
He should be.
He's at four.
He's at four for me.
I've never heard a top 10 without Tim Duncan in it.
I don't think I have either.
I mean, I probably have. I just don't.
If I did, I ignored it as soon as I realized.
I've never heard it because you can't give me legit logic that Tim Duncan ain't the top 10 player all time.
Well, I think I could give pretty good logic.
I would love to hear it.
Let me think of 10 names real quick.
Yes, I would love to hear 10 guys. And
Hey,
legit
Austin,
logic
while he's thinking about that, can I ask you, what's your top 5 Gonzaga all time?
That's a great question.
Man,
top 5 all time Gonzaga.
I ain't putting myself in it, but I'll say John Stockton, Adam Morrison, the Gonzaga legends would get on me. I think like Casey Calvary. I'm trying to think of guys who played there a long time too, like
Kenny, Timmy,
Drew Timmy,
Pango.
Timmy.
Respect Chet
Like,
Holmgren's 1 year.
Stockton would have remember Pangos is up there, yeah. Like Cargo, all those guys. I mean, after the third, it's kind of like pick and choose.
Okay.
So if I say LeBron, MJ, Kareem, Shaq,
You lost me already.
Hakeem, I can make an argument. Wait, I can make an argument.
Hold on,
So
who did he
LeBron,
lose you with?
MJ. Yeah,
Kareem,
who did I lose you?
Jabbar.
For the sake of the argument, I have to have him in there. LeBron, MJ, Shaq, Hakeem, Kobe, Larry, Magic, Steph, Wilt, and Bill Russell. I can't make an argument.
No, you can't make an argument for Steph over Tim Duncan.
Yeah,
I think I can make the argument.
Who was the
Wilt
last two?
and Bill Russell.
I mean, even Will put up godly numbers, and that's why it's like for him, he should be in everyone's somewhat top 10 or top like 13. But as far as like what Tim did, he did it in 3 different generations. He did it in 3 different systems. He did it with another big beside him. He did it with a point guard next to him, and then he did it with a whole team around him, with a whole bunch of guys when he was older. So it's like, I don't know. You talk about finding a way to win and just win in general. Like, if he was in New York, what would Tim Duncan's status be if he played in New York?
What, in a bigger market?
Seriously. Even the way
That's true though.
I think he's not respecting them, and I want to make it clear. I'm not saying I think all of these guys are better than Tim Duncan. I don't really make top 10 lists, so I don't know where I'd have Tim Duncan. I'm just saying I think with those 10 names, I could make an argument that they could all be over Tim Duncan. Does that mean I would agree with my own case? No. Yeah. But I do think those 10 names, I could make the argument. That's
5 rings is a lot.
Yeah, I mean,
not as many as 6 though.
No,
well, yeah, he's not number 1. So MJ and Kareem have 6.
But even 11 with Bill Russell, it's like it's tough. No, I'm saying for me, it's tough because they didn't have as many teams. They didn't have as many, like, we're not going to say the talent is the same. We're not going to say
it's not.
No. But at the same time, if you look at Bill Russell's team at the time, his team was stacked.
He made his teammates better.
His team
He
was
made his teammates better.
So when you
He made them better. He made them better. That's what he did.
The best defender in a league where it's only what? How many teams are in the league at that point?
8. It was 8, and then it went to 11.
You got Sam Cook. You got Bob Cousy. You got a gang of players on that team.
But the difference, though, I can combat that, Austin, by saying, Elgin Baylor didn't play for the Celtics. Nate Thurman didn't play for the Celtics. Jerry West didn't play for the Celtics.
For sure.
Walt Frazier didn't play for the Celtics. I mean, there's a slew of guys who did not play. I mean, Walt Bellamy didn't play for the Celtics. Hal Greer didn't play for the Celtics. I mean, I can run down a slew of guys who did not play for the Celtics. So because it was a league of 8, 9 teams, that means I got to see the tougher competition even more. On a more frequent basis, which means I got to perform at a higher level when seeing them. And not only do I have to see the tougher competition more, it's still 82 games. It's not like it was 8 teams in the league and it was only 50 games. No, I got to see Chamberlain 15 times. I got to see Jerry West.
You don't got to see George Gervin. You don't got to see Dr. J. You don't got to see these guys because they didn't come in yet.
You're right.
So
I do have to see LG.
That was like the case. I would really have Bill Russell. Okay, if he was going in that era and really taking care of Ars Gilmore and all them guys, them big 7-footers at that time who were just coming in, getting older, I would have more consideration for Bill Russell for sure, because the ABA had a gang of talent in the NBA. In the ABA.
Yes, they did. And
so that's tough. That's tough. But I get it though.
Yeah,
yo, Austin, I gotta ask you, because you mentioned like not having Tim Duncan in your top 10 is just crazy. So what's crazier? Not having Tim Duncan in your top 10?
Oh my God.
Or not having Kobe in your top 10?
What's crazier?
Yeah.
Probably not having. I mean,
he thinks both are crazy. That's what he thinks.
Yeah, both are so crazy.
Wild.
I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because you're talking about like the third to fifth best guy ever, and then the 4th to 7th best guy ever. It's like,
you got Kobe over Duncan?
Yeah. And Timmy's my teammate. But the reason why I have Kobe over him is because, one, he's a guard, and it's much harder as a guard to win in that league. It's harder. So you got to have a lot of things that come with you. So for Kobe to do it after Shaq the way he did it, and then obviously the injuries affected him, but to do it with Shaq, it's just crazy how people kind of undermine like what Kobe was with Shaq.
Well, the injuries affected him because he got old. The injuries, it wasn't like the injuries affected him because he was injury prone. No, he got old.
No. But as far as like
it just stopped to extra longevity.
How he was the number 2 to Kobe, and how people view him as the number 2 to Kobe. How people view him as a number 2 to Shaq is just sometimes a little wild to me. They're always like, well, he wasn't the leader of the team. That's not his championship. Yeah, but he was the one getting the ball in the fourth quarter every time because they didn't want to give the ball to Shaq. He didn't want him to fake foul trouble. So if you look at who was taking some big shots and who was doing a lot of things in the fourth quarters, it was Shaq and it was Kobe. It wasn't necessarily just Shaq.
What if I told you guys, because Mars is a numbers guy. Mars, what if I told you that Kobe has outscored Shaq in the 8 years that he played with him? He outscored Shaq in the fourth quarter by less than 100 points. In the 8 years that he played with him, by less than that. So it wasn't like they wasn't going to Shaq in the
season. What is that, regular season?
And the playoffs. Regular season.
Well, I mean, not every.
It wasn't like they weren't going to him. They were going to.
If you up 12, you can give the ball to Shaq in the fourth. But if we're in clutch minutes, you'd have to look at what they're averaging in the clutch. Then you'd have to look at them what they're averaging when the game is a possession game. Like, who are they going to? And then it's not even just like, who are they going to? Like, maybe even Shaq does get the shot, but that's because Kobe drew 2 and he threw a lob to Shaq, like we saw against the Blazers, or it was a laydown pass or something else. Like, whoever takes the shot doesn't mean the offense is running through them. No, but especially when Kobe was the one with the ball in premise. But there's a lot of context too. Just
and that's why I feel more points. The dynamic is different between Michael and Scottie. It's not the same as Kobe and Shaq, because Kobe and Shaq were together taking them shots a lot. Not saying Scottie wasn't, but Mike was drawing double teams, and they were not really trying to leave Scottie. He's a guard rather than Shaq, who's a big. So for me, it's just I think Kobe should definitely be in people's top 5. But I mean, him's not in your top 8. It's looking shaky on that list to me.
I know someone who has him at 11.
I mean, I understand it. But I mean, for me, for for 5 championships to do it in that many years. And
10 years.
No, what do you?
7.
You won his last one in
7 trips to the finals in 10 years, winning 5.
Yeah,
That's tough.
I mean, and you look at like how he was looking at the end of his career, like right when I left, and right when I was leaving, Tim couldn't run down the court and run a suicide, or even run a full court sprint without having to turn and come back the other way. He couldn't stop.
He couldn't stop like that, like he used to.
Stop. He had to like turn and run his sprints. But he was still going out there and giving 30 to DeAndre Jordan in the playoffs. Like it's just,
he was making an all-pro defensive team doing that still.
Yeah.
Like that's what people don't realize. Like my first practice with him, I was shocked because I played against him before, but like he blocked one of my shots in practice. He's old at this point. I threw a floater up. I'm like, oh no, he's not getting that. He got it. I was like, wow. He's different. He was different. Timmy was definitely different.
Hold on, no. How do you feel about Manu?
Oh, Manu was great. I mean, but what are we comparing, talking about?
So, not even necessarily a comparison. How do you feel he would have been as the number one option? And I know, obviously, when you caught up to him, he was a little older, but even 5 years younger.
He would have been a 24 plus a night scorer, 25. Like, you know, I mean, now you would say maybe 26, 25, maybe then 24, 23, but he was still a dominant scorer. Like, I mean, you couldn't really stop him from getting in the lane, especially pick and roll. If he played now, he would be even more effective with the pick and roll the way it is. But, I mean, even then, he was still crazy effective. Like, but as far as putting him up with, like, D. Wade and stuff like that and Kobe, but he was up there, for sure.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, brother, because, you know, this people in the chat asking, what do you think Jokic got to do to get in the top 10?
Oh, my God.
Ain't nobody in the chat asking.
They legit
I mean,
did.
Let me see
Go
the
through
one
the chat.
person in the chat who said
They
that. Let me
did.
see the
Go through it.
one person probably said he like people in the chat.
Go ahead.
In your opinion, Austin, what do you
Mars,
think?
let
What do
the
you
man
think
talk.
Joker? What do you think Joker has to do to
Trying
get in the top 10?
message.
I think if he gets a couple more appearances in an NBA title, here and there, a couple more appearances. I mean, I don't know how many wins he needs, but to me, he's unbelievable. Like,
Yeah.
There's not even a comparison. Who's the second? Like, who's the first center in the league? It ain't even close.
Excuse me.
Do you think he can finish
I
ahead
don't see
of?
the person who asked that. I don't see the person who asked that. Sir.
Do you think he can be do you think he can be better than like Hakeem in them?
Oh God.
I mean, Hakeem was just such a good defender.
Shout out Eastside General, Mars.
And then you got Hakeem Kareem that's won with Magic and won so many. How many does Cap got? Cap got 5?
6.
6? Yeah, so it's like, damn, it's tough. But I mean, maybe a couple MVPs, like maybe like a couple more MVPs in a championship, maybe.
Sounds like he got more work to do than me.
He for sure has more work to do because it's just
Sounds
tough.
like he got more work to do.
The center position.
Sure, you're not
4
including
guys
this.
in the top 10. 5 guys in the top 10.
Yeah.
Do you think Moses Malone is better than Jokic?
No.
Okay.
I think Moses Malone was nice, but no.
Yeah. Don't worry, chill. I'm still with you.
Moses Malone was a different type of player, though. He was a defender, rebounder, score when needed, and could get you a bucket. But the offense wasn't flowing through him all the time.
Andre Drummond's, yeah.
That was 25 a game for 8 years.
Yeah, 20. He averaged 25 a game. The offense was clearly going through him.
No, the offense
I got a lot of
actually
respect
wasn't
for
going through him. He was getting put back.
My dad played, so I got a lot of respect for older players.
I got Moses higher than probably most people do. Definitely higher than Chill.
Too high, too high.
Yeah, well, and then I got Dr. J really high too. So like I got Jerry West 17. I think I think these players were incredible. Chill just genuinely believes that Moses Malone was almost as good of an offensive player as Jokic was, and just a better defender.
Did I ever say that? Oh my goodness!
I don't know. I just know you think Moses Malone is better than him.
I never said that. Never said that.
Anything else.
I think Jokic's offense supersedes so much of his flaws because, like, if you look at how he plays mistake-free, damn near basketball all the time. Like, he'll make a mistake, turn over here and there, but you see what he was trying to do. You don't really question, like, his passes where you're like, what the hell was you thinking? But like his playmaking.
Austin, do you think Wilt was as good of a passer as Joker?
No, but I think he was a better passer than what people give him credit. Like people were trying to make it seem like he couldn't pass. I've seen him drop off all type of passes. So it's like, I mean, the thing is too is the video's not there for us to watch. with Shaq, it was there for us to watch him dump off, make passes, make plays. People try to make it seem like Shaq wasn't passing, and Shaq could pass. He was making skip passes all the time. But I mean, the thing is like when I look at those bigs, it's tough because Jokic is so good, but defensively those bigs were so good as well. So it's like tough. Like Hakeem, it's gonna take him a while to pass Hakeem just off what he's done defensively.
Facts.
There's guys that are exceptions, like Magic, Curry, in terms of defense. Like they weren't that good defensively, but they were so good. But they were so good. Yeah, they're so, and that's how I look at Joker because he's so good as an offensive player. I think he's an exception.
For sure. So it's really just what you give and take. It's man for me.
There's not many guys like that. It's not like it's a bunch of guys that's like that. No, it's only a few guys that I can say off the top of my head, like, yo, this dude was so good offensively that he's the exception.
For sure.
Yeah, shout out Jokic. We got some more super chats, so we're gonna go ahead and do this. Y'all make sure you like the video, subscribe to Player's Choice, become a member of the panel, and just keep doing what you do best in the chat, y'all. Salute to everybody that's in here. Shout out to everybody that's watching on Twitter as well. Let's get into it. Realist123 said, y'all owe Ron an apology. Hallie is him. He's been balling the past couple months. Indy or Knicks will be coming out of the East. Also, Jokic. Can we get some effort on defense? Nuggets will struggle in the playoffs.
I think Indiana, I think they're game out the 4 spot right now.
Oh, yeah, chill. We rocking right now.
And I would like to say that I was the first one to call that Indiana had a good defensive personnel, even though Ron backed out of them like 6 months ago, apparently.
Did you say that?
Yes, 100%.
Did you really say that?
100%.
I said that.
I know you did, Ron. You don't talk about Indiana, Ron. I'm not going to address.
Or Milwaukee.
Chill. Exactly. Chill. I'm talking to chill.
That was Swiper who said that.
Yeah, Miles Turner, Pascal Siakam, Benny. They have Aaron Nesmith. Nimhard's a good defender. Like they have a litany of players that should be a good defender. That should be, and I think they can do it.
Team. They should be 100%.
And they're doing it.
Like they were last year. They shouldn't have the worst defense in the league.
Right.
That's
100%.
That should not be the case. Especially how I feel about this kid Naismith. I think he could be one of the better perimeter defenders in the game. And this kid Nimhard that they have. I think they're great. I think the problem was, which is not going on now, they playing a lot faster. And that's where Haliburton is at his best, when they playing fast. When they playing fast, that's when he's at his best. I'm not a big fan of Turner, as you know, Ron, but he has been getting on the glass lately. Now, with him doing that, and with Haliburton playing fast, they've been a lot better. They've been a lot better.
Detroit and Indiana is a young rivalry, by the way. I don't know what's.
Can we put that out there in the division, Mars? Yes, sir.
Every game they're going at. Isaiah Stewart is a violent player. I don't know what his problem is, but every game with them is a battle. Coaching.
Chill. That your kind of player? A crash out, Isaiah Stewart.
I think the stuff that I feel like the dirty work that he does. I feel like that out. I can't say that over. No, because the stuff that he's the kind of dude that'll get thrown out of a playoff game, and like we can't have.
He just randomly pushed Thomas Bryant for no reason.
Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, but the dirty work stuff the dirty work stuff that he does is necessary. Like we need that. We need him on the glass. We need him.
And he's actually a good player.
The paint.
He's a good player.
He's damn good, Mars. But like he'll do off the wall stuff like yesterday, where he just pushed Thomas Bryant. Just pushed them out of the way and got thrown out of the game. And that's the kind of stuff that'll get us in trouble, where now the rotation is shortened. Now he can't beat it. Because I watched Jalen Duren as a defender. I definitely overstated Jalen Duren as a defender. He's robotic. He's not as athletic as I thought he was. Still a damn good rebounder. But you need guys like Isaiah Stewart on your roster. And for him to get thrown out of game 3 of an Eastern Conference semifinals game, which he would do, that's going to kill us.
Yeah. Yo, bro, I'm gonna say it again. I think the Pacers are legit. I really like their team. When Hallie's healthy, he's great. Like, I'm really looking forward to the playoffs.
Having the best year of his career offensively, I think.
Who? Pascal? Oh yeah, bro. What did he just have 37 the other night?
He's been amazing. I had him on my All-Star team for this year. He's been
Mars. You ain't the first one. I've heard that like 3 or 4 times that Pascal Siakam should be on the All-Star team.
He's been great.
We're gonna find out tonight.
He's been really good.
I
don't think he's gonna make it. I don't think the Pacers gonna get enough love. But maybe with Jalen Johnson's injury and stuff, maybe he does make it. But I think he should make it. I think he's been.
Oh,
great.
but by the way,
NBA
the
screwed
snub.
up,
I'm not
though,
gonna have time
man.
to say it. Tyler Hero's getting snubbed, and I'm gonna be livid.
You think so?
Oh wait,
100%.
no way, they can't do that.
I don't think it's a snub if he doesn't make it.
I think it's a clear snub if he doesn't make it.
Okay, Mars. So real
100%
quick, Mars. When we run down the East, right? So I think because of the lack of big men, all right. I think because of the lack of big men in the Eastern Conference, right? No Joel Embiid, no and Bam is underperformed. I think that the Cavs get 4 guys because I think Jared Allen makes the All-Star team.
I agree.
All right? So that's number one. The Celtics already got their guy, right? The Knicks got 2 starters. That's 7 guys. I think Damian Lillard is making an All-Star team, Mars. That's 8 guys right there.
He's a starter, right?
Damian Lillard, no, Damian's.
Donovan Mitchell's starting. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell's starting.
So that's 9 guys right there. So now that's 3 spots left, right? I think Tyler Hero is an all-star. With Tyler Hero doing what he's been doing this year, I think he's one of a few guys that's 25, 5, and 5 this year.
Yep.
There aren't many guys that are doing that.
Great efficiency.
On damn good efficiency. So that's 10 guys right there.
Chill,
Mars
think
and Mars, real quick, Ron, and Mars, and I know that a lot of guys don't want to hear this. I dare you to keep Trae Young off the All-Star team this year. I dare you to do it.
That's
why
11
guys right there.
Because I think Trae Young has to be an All-Star.
That's
I think Cade
11 guys right there. There's your 12th guy right there. There's your 12th guy right there. Cade Cunningham and Cade Cunningham and who did I just say? Cade Cunningham and Trae Young. There's your 12 guys right there. I think LaMelo's out.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna make it. But
I think LaMelo's out.
That's crazy.
The NBA screwed up.
At most, you can have 6 guards. At most, you can have 6.
He should have been starting.
If we understand Brunson and Mitchell,
Still, the NBA did what they had to do.
If Brunson and Mitchell have already made it, that's 2. You can at most have 6 because you have 2 off the bench, 2 starters, and the wild cards can be anything. So at best, you can have 6. So we got Brunson and Mitchell already. Dame, I think, is a shoo-in. So that's 3. That means you got to have Garland, Cade, Trae, or LaMelo. Some of them are going to make it. And you have to have Tyler Hero over 2 of those guys. That's who you have to have in order for him to make it. And that's assuming you only have 3 front court players off the bench. That's the best case scenario. There's 6 guards. Tyler Hero has to be one of them 6. Me personally, I'm taking Dame, Brunson, Garland, Mitchell, Cade, and Trae all over Tyler Hero. So
respectfully, I'm just gonna say this. This is gonna get banned in here. I imagine everybody knows I don't even like Tyler Hero that much as a player. I don't think he's been very good the last 3 years, but I always believe in giving people their credit. And Austin, he's been better than Donovan Mitchell this year. But I know I'm in the minority. I know I'm in the minority with that. I think he deserved it, but that's not how it works in the NBA. If you win games, you will always get a do over a player that's not winning games. I just think that I think Tyler Hero's going to get snubbed because of that. I think it's all because of the record. The Miami Heat, they're running away with that. But Tyler Hero's been crazy. He's been crazy.
It was funny.
Tyler Hero's been playing amazing. He should definitely be an all-star. I don't know who shouldn't be, but I know he should be.
I think there's just a lot of all-star caliber guys, Tyler Hero being one of them. It's just 12 spots.
Austin, you muted, bro.
Muted.
Hey, your mic cracking a little bit, so I just muted you while you wasn't talking.
You back.
Oh, okay.
What you said though?
No, I was saying that. I mean, Donovan Mitchell, 24, 5-5, 4-4,
And the best team in the East.
and the best team in the East. So he's 100%.
He's starting an All-Star game.
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying. Like I think he's getting it because of that.
LaMelo's averaging 28, 7, and 5. Jeez.
I think LaMelo win.
The NBA.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, he's hurt right now. So
They did. The NBA screwed up. Just so you know, and I'm already on record saying this, Shea the only guard in the league that got more votes than him. Latest wiper. Shea's the only guard in the league that got more votes than him. That's it. No other guard in the league got more votes than LaMelo. That means
it is weird that the leading vote gets by the fans potentially won't be in the All-Star game for the fans. That is
amazing.
I think
that's nuts, Ron.
So.
And then I didn't, and you know who else I didn't bring up? Mars. I didn't bring up the fact that Zach LaVine is having his best shooting year this season, averaging 24
but he's a front court player. He's a front court player. He's on my All-Star team too, but he just counts to the front court because they
was Cade mentioned?
Yeah, I have Cade on my All-Star team too. There's a lot of good All-Stars.
It's gonna be tricky. Somebody got to stay at home.
Someone's gonna be mad, for sure.
Yeah,
I can't see Cade over Tyler.
I think Zach LaVine won't make it just because the Bulls aren't very good. I think Zach LaVine will make it, but I think Cade will make it. I think Trae is up in the air. I don't know if Trae's gonna make it. Not because he doesn't deserve to. I don't know if he's gonna make it.
He's just the easiest to leave off, Mars. He is, but it's getting ridiculous though. It is. If I'm being honest with you, it's just getting.
If he didn't make it last year and he's making it this year,
27 and 10, and he didn't make he wasn't an outright all-star. He had to come in as an alternate. Like, come on, man, what we doing?
Crazy. Yeah, that's crazy.
That doesn't make any sense.
In the East, I gotta ask you guys, who would be the most disrespectful snub? That like a realistic snub. Who would be the most disrespected?
Trey.
You got guys like Harrell, Trey, Cade.
Trey or Tyler Hero, probably. I mean, if LaMelo makes it over them, it's because the numbers are godly, but the team is playing bad. But LaMelo is a fan favorite. We all know that. So, at the same time, what's the NBA going to do?
Sorry, Trey.
I think if Garland doesn't make it, that's a crazy snub. I think Garland is going to make it.
I think he's one of the three, Mars. So if Jared Allen doesn't make it, those are the three guys I think.
I think Jared Allen is. I don't have Jared Allen as an all-star this year, but I think Mobley is a shoe-in. I think Garland should be a shoe-in, and Mitchell's obviously playing. So I think the Cavs have three, and then it comes down to the other spots and like the wild cards: Cade, Trae Young, Tyler Hero, LaMelo.
Yeah.
I think if Cade doesn't make it, I think that's a snub. I think Cade should be an all-star.
Who, Cade?
24, 7, and 9, I think. Something like that.
It might be up to 25 now.
I think he's third in the league in assists, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think Brown might have passed him, but I'm pretty sure he's still 3.
Cade is averaging
5, 6, and 9.
Yeah. I think Cade's got to be an all-star this year.
They're what?
I think he'd be a big snub for me.
Yeah, they're the AC. Yeah, for sure. You got to make it now.
And I think Detroit making the playoffs this year. I don't think they're making the play-in. I think they're making the playoffs.
You think they're going to catch up to Orlando? Because Orlando's slipping.
Yes, I do, Mars.
Miami will probably die off by mid-end.
Mars, they're half a game behind Orlando right now for the 6th spot. I think.
But Orlando just got Paolo back too, though. So
they ain't been doing too good with Paolo back. But
Miami's gonna get something for Jimmy Butler. Don't forget that. Like they're gonna get somebody for Jimmy Butler. It might not be a superstar, but they're definitely gonna get somebody that can be impactful or produce in some way. And Eric Spoelstra's gonna utilize whoever they get back. Don't sleep on Miami, y'all. Don't sleep.
I'm not sleeping. The playing race is gonna be tough in these. Like there's like
it is 100% tough.
But Miami could potentially not even see that playing.
I agree. They could climb up to 5, 6, 8.
Yeah,
I think the top 4 is there. I think Cleveland, Boston, New York, and Milwaukee have got it. Indiana's creeping up. I think Indiana's not going to be in the play-in. Orlando, Miami, and Detroit. And I don't know about Atlanta. I think Atlanta's going to tear it off a bit. Those 3 teams are all going to be fighting for the 6th seed, in my opinion.
Right.
So what you talking about with Spo? So let me ask you this, Ox. Would it just be let's say they got mid-level guys? Would it just be more of the cloud of Jimmy Butler being gone that helps Miami?
The cloud?
I think that's
I mean, it could be. It could be.
I think that's effective.
It's it's like that one chick. You just got to have some closure. You know what I'm saying? It's just about the closure. We don't need to be seeing each other out and not know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? Let's just end this amicable. It's kind of late for it to be amicable, but you know what I'm saying? Let's just get it over with. You know what I'm saying? Let's get him back. Get Jimmy out of South Beach. Let him do his thing. Bam can focus. Tyler can focus. All the role players, Jaime, Jovic can get into his role. Like, okay, now I'm here. We don't got to worry about Jimmy coming back, taking up any minutes. So yeah, you 100% right, Chill. I think so. So that's a double whammy, Chill, because not only will the Jimmy Butler thing, the aura be gone, but they'll also receive. You know what I'm saying? Give and receive. They'll get something back. Hopefully somebody that can make a direct impact. And don't let them, Chill. It's been going around three team trade. Jimmy don't want to come to set, but that don't mean De'Aaron can't end up in Miami.
That does not mean that. That does not mean that. And by the way, Ox, to your point, them bridge chicks be the best. Let's be clear about that. Them chicks, that's bridge chicks, that's getting you to the next chick. They be the best ones. Be clear about that.
Chill. I'm going to get closure right after this episode. But
bridge chicks be the best.
What? Which family?
Hey, Ron been going crazy this week, Chill.
He went. Not really. Nowhere. You know for a fact we can't take Ron ass nowhere.
But all right, y'all, we talked about the East. Let's talk about the West. Obviously, we know Victor Wembanyama. He's not starting, but he probably is a shoe-in. And then you got other guys like Ant is probably a shoe-in.
Yes.
And then after that, who we got?
Mars and I
DeMontis is a shoe-in. I think Kyrie has to make it. And then I think
Mars and I disagree. Mars, I think you're getting a guy on from Houston on the crew. I do.
No, I think Şengün.
No.
No. Let's make it clear what the disagreement is. The disagreement we have is you think a guy from Houston should make it. I disagree with that. I think Şengün is going to make it because he's on the 2 seed. I just don't think he should make it, but I think he's going to. So
I think it's going to be Jalen Green, to be honest with you, Mars. I don't think it's going to be Sengun. I think they're going to pick Jalen Green. That's who I think the guy's going to be.
The only way I think it goes that way, Chill, where they pick Jalen Green is if picking Sengun will knock Triple J, DeMontis, or Anthony Davis. If one of
that's what I'm talking about because of those bigs.
Yeah, but you got the wild card spots for a reason. So obviously LeBron, KD, and Jokic are starting. So you have 2 front court spots available off the bench.
Sure.
Let's assume they're going to Anthony Davis and Wemby. Let's assume.
Okay.
That means the 2 wild card spots can go to the other 2 front court players. So is that
DeMontis and Sengun?
DeMontis and Jaren Jackson, or Sengun and Jaren Jackson? Like there's 2 wild card spots. One player
Sengun not making it.
Well, yeah,
Jalen Green.
One of them, but Jalen Green also has to fight for that wild card spot because Anthony Edwards and Kyrie, in my opinion, are coming off the bench. So he's fighting for a wild card spot.
Who's he fighting with then?
The rest of the league. It's not just position; it's the rest of the league. So let's assume.
Right. You know, I got you.
Let's assume for the sake of argument. We've got Anthony Davis, Wemby.
Yep.
Give me one other big. I need one other front court player. Just one other front
court player.
Jaren Jackson. Okay.
Okay. Let's say Jaren Jackson. I'll say Jaren. I think Jaren Jackson.
Those are the 3 front court players off the bench.
Yeah.
Then on the guards off the bench, we have Anthony Edwards and Kyrie. That means the 2 wild card spots are for any players out of the West that Şengün or Jalen Green have to be out. So that's James Harden, De'Aaron Fox, Norman Powell, DeMontis Sabonis. Wherever you go, like all the way down the West, they're competing with everyone. They have to beat out those guys. I don't think Jalen Green has a shot. I think Şengün probably will make it because he's on the 2 seed. But I think that means the guys like DeMontis Sabonis are going to get snubbed. And I think DeMontis Sabonis is an all-star.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Mars, because it's the same logic that we had with Trae Young. Like it's easy to leave Trae Young off the roster. I feel the same way about Sabonis. I think it's easier to leave him off the roster, off the strength of what he's been, off the strength that you have left him off in the past. Even though he's been awesome,
So
I think it's easy.
Where's James Harden in all this?
I think Norman Powell goes before him. I do. I think Norman Powell.
I don't think either of them go.
I don't think
if we had to pick the 2, Ron, remember that.
Like,
if we had to pick the 2, I think Norman Powell goes before James Harden.
You think Norman Powell's playing better than James Harden, or you think he's just more likely to make it?
I think he's more likely to make it. I don't think he's a better player than James Harden. I'm not going to argue that part. No, but I'm thinking about
he's having a career year. For sure.
Not only that, Austin, he's leading the Clippers in scoring.
Yeah,
so with him,
he's also averaging 20.
I think he's averaging 21. I think he's like 21 and 8. Yeah, 21 and 8. Something like that. 21 and 8. And
I had James Harden on my.
Did anybody have the Clippers at the 7th seed at the start of the season?
I don't have them making the playoffs. I didn't have.
I had him like 5 seed.
I tried to tell you James Harden don't miss the playoffs. I tried to tell you. But
you did tell me that.
He makes them. That's one thing you can guarantee.
He can make a bad team. He can make a bad team good.
Mars, you and Ryan didn't have him making the playoffs either?
I didn't. I had the Clippers being trash.
I mean, I was just there passionately saying James Harden has never missed the playoffs. That's why
I know for sure me and Swiper had him in the playoffs, not playing.
Yeah, Swiper was campaigning for Chris Dunn and Ox was campaigning for Norman Powell.
It's tough between him and Norman.
Devin Booker's another one who Jalen Green is going to be fighting for as well. So like, it's basically.
I mean, they like that.
Devin Booker not getting over Jalen Green.
I think he beats him out, Mars, this season. And I think you're looking at Devin Booker as a better player than Jalen Green, which I won't argue that. Yeah, that part I'm not going to argue, no.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that. But when I look at what Jalen Green and what Houston has been doing and how good he's been, especially the closer we get. I mean,
the last month and a half or so.
Yeah. The closer we have gotten to this and how good he was playing at that point, I think I think he gets in.
So I gotta ask you guys, who do you believe ultimately will be snubbed or will be the biggest snub if they don't make it?
James Harden or DeMontis
Sabonis.
One of those 2. James Harden or DeMontis.
For me, James, if he doesn't make it this year, especially after that expectations, especially the last
and the reason I say that is because there's no way DeMontis shouldn't be an all-star. You know what I'm saying? Like DeMontis not being an all-star shouldn't even be a thought in my mind. So the fact that I know the NBA will gladly snub a Sacramento King, I'm like, he probably.
I mean, they did it last year when he led the league in double doubles.
But this year, I think he's been better than last year. Like,
yes, he's even been better. That's why I think he. That's why I think he's.
I'm not very high on Domantas Sabonis. Like, generally speaking, I'm not very high. This year, I've been very high on him. I think he's been a lot better defensively, offensively, aggressiveness in terms of scoring. I think he's been great. I think he has to be an all-star. If he's not an all-star, I think that's a huge snub. James Harden is one I think he should make it. But
that's just kudos to Ime Udoka though too though.
That's in terms of Houston.
Well, they don't have a bona fide all-star. They're number 2 seed right now.
Austin, they were Animal House 2 years ago. They had dudes swinging from the chandeliers. This place was a nut house.
Crazy. Like, he has to get more Coach of the Year or whatever honors.
I think he might be the favorite right now because he beat the Cavs back. I think Kenny Atkinson was the favorite, but he goes in and beats Cleveland twice.
He's got to.
I think he might be the favorite for Coach of the Year.
They beat Cleveland twice. They beat Boston and they beat the Grizzlies twice.
Yeah, and
Chill. This what
the Grizzlies tonight. Yeah, he has a shot.
This what I'll be talking about, Chill. When I say coach got to coach, I'm talking about coaching. This what I'll be talking about. What Ime Udoka does. This is what Mike Tomlin was talking about when he said some coaches don't want to do their job. When he said that you'll find a coach that says, "Oh man, this player doesn't do that good, so we can't do that." Well, you got to coach. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're here for. You can help him develop that aspect of his game, or run something else. You know what I'm saying? Develop your players. Develop your squad, develop your coaching staff, develop your coach. You're coaching yourself. You know what I'm saying? Coaching is a 24/7 gig. You got to coach. And Ime Udoka, he is coaching.
Unfortunately, Ox, that's not the way it works. Austin comes into the league, and Austin's supposed to be nice right from the beginning and supposed to continue to get nice. Forget coaching. There is no way to develop Austin. There is no way to make Austin be a better ball handler. No, that's your job, Austin. No, that's not the coach's job. That's your job to get better. That's your job to understand the game. Even though when you come into the game, and I've learned this as a youngster, when you come into the pros, I am not a pro. I got pro potential. That's your job to teach me the pro game. But a lot of people don't see that. Austin comes into the pros. Austin, you a pro? Figure it out. No, that's not the way this works. No, that's not the way this works.
I think it's on everyone involved. Like, it has to be. It's a mutual relationship. The coach has to coach, but the player also has to be receptive to said coach.
100%.
You can't, like, some players just aren't
different in the NFL. Like the thing is, when you got young guys, like Ime's been fortunate to go to young kind of teams and build his persona within the team, rather than going to the Lakers or going to a team that's older, already has egos and got guys that are making max dollars. You're not going to tell Anthony Davis he needs to do this, that, and the third so much. You're going to advise him to do that, but he's going to get the ball where he wants to get the ball. He's going to run. LeBron's going to run the plays he wants to run. So at the same time, like, I get what you're saying, but also too, he has been able to go to 2 great places and submit himself and his personality within the team, and they have to be receptive. If you go to a team where you got a bunch of guys that are just got paid, doing this, that, and the third, they're not trying to conform to the new team. They're going to do what they want.
I think that goes to Ime Udoka's credit too as well, by taking that job instead of rushing to go grab one of them other jobs like the Sixers, any of those, the Lakers, like you said. He saw Houston was like, you know what, I can actually coach here. You know what I'm saying? Let me go do something.
Exactly.
Ox, was the Houston Rockets, was that a fixer upper? Was that a house that was just like torn down and he just
that's one of them cribs shit that you buy at auction that you got to pay cash for.
And it's a lot of dough. It's a lot of value in this house. Like I could fix this crib up and make it real nice.
When they got Sengun, it changed a lot. Yeah. You got a guy that has footwork on the block, that can make shots, good in pick and roll, can also pass. He can pass. So when you got that, and then you got the guards now who are running the lane, and they didn't have a point guard before. They didn't have a Fred VanVleet. They didn't have an older veteran to help them out in certain cases. Like now they got VanVleet. They got who else at the guard position? They got Brooks.
They got Jalen Green.
Aaron Holiday
came in with the mystique. Like, you know how he's coming in every game, every practice probably. So and I think getting them just fueled what was already kind of hungry in the young guys. So
it built a good culture. I think that was the biggest difference. The Rockets were a clown show, quite frankly. But then you get vets, Fred VanVleet, Dylan Brooks. Now you get Steven Adams, who I think is great for culture. Jeff Green. Like you're developing your young talent while also developing them in the right way, not just throw them out there and hope they figure things out. You're helping them. Yeah, that's what it was under Steven Silas. It was just they're out there playing, and reps is the best thing. As long as they're playing, they're developing. That it wasn't what was happening. But I think like guys like Jalen Green, guys like Jabari have developed more under Ime Udoka than they did in their first years under Steven Silas. Same with Alperen Şengün. I think they've developed more in the year and a half they've been with Ime than they did in the years with Steven Silas. And I think that goes to say like culture and actual taking time to develop players is I don't know if it's a lost art. I just think a lot of people want instant results and they want to rush the process and cut corners. Whereas I think Houston are going about it the right way, where they're going through the process. They're probably going to lose in the playoffs this year, but that's just another step to where they're ultimately trying to get to, which is a good thing.
This brings me back to who I believe will be the biggest snub if they don't make the All-Star game. And it's either whoever it is on Houston, Jalen Green or Şengün, or whoever it is on Memphis that doesn't make it. Jaren Jackson or Ja Morant. You got the 2 or 3 seed in the West.
Jaren's going to make
phenomenal.
Jaren's going to be.
Yeah, I think
Jaren, I think is a shit. Jaren's a shit.
If Jaren gets it, then the biggest snub is whoever's on the Rockets. Y'all got the 2nd seed in the West, 3rd best record in the league. Somebody got to represent y'all.
Let Ime coach the team. Like, I know Mark Daigneault has the best record, but like let Ime coach the All-Star game. There you go. You get Houston representation because he's really the MVP. Like, let him coach.
However, y'all need representation. But all right, y'all, let's get back to these super chats. Yep. MP13 said, I finally understand what Chill was talking about. I was fighting for my life with these people trying to tell me SGA was better than Kobe yesterday. And I felt like I aged 15 years.
Yeah, that was on my channel.
It's exhausting, isn't it?
SGA was better than Kobe and MJ because he's more efficient. Mm-hmm.
But again, Ox,
take away accolades. What are they better than SGA at? That was the argument that was being presented.
And Ox, this is the reason why we have these conversations early, so we put these small fires out. Like we don't want this to turn into something bigger than what it already is. Nah, let's get to the bottom of this right now. Let's not do that. No.
SGA is amazing. I just think there's a tier that I just don't think he's at. And
there's a considerable gap, Mars. Let's call it what it is. There's
a gap.
That's a different group
between Brian and SGA. Yes,
different group.
They don't understand that they're doing SGA a disservice because the kid is amazing. He's a wonderful basketball player. It's hard for me to find anything negative. Y'all know I got him 2nd best player in the league right now. You know what I'm saying? So I think he's right behind Giannis. I think he's great, but we got to just leave. Why can't we just leave Kobe alone? Leave Bean out of this. Just leave Jordan out of this.
It's always Kobe every time.
Mars, this how it used to be with Jordan. It used to always be Jordan. Oh, he's the next Jordan. It's not like, bro, stop bringing up Michael Jordan.
And it's not even a positional thing. Like, because they did the same thing with Giannis. They've done the same thing with Jokic. Now it's SGA. Like, it's always Kobe. So you can't be like, oh, well, they both play the 2 or they're both guards. No, because the same thing happened with Giannis and Jokic. It's always Kobe.
Remember that was doing it with Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, and Donovan Mitchell 4 years ago.
Every single time it's Kobe. And I'm not going to lie. I'm guilty of it. Because when Jokic was ascending and I was pushing the Jokic propaganda, I used Kobe as the bar too. I'm guilty of it a couple years ago, for sure. I'm now wiser. I'm grown up.
That 2000s era, man. That basketball was different.
I never bought into that Jason Tatum, Kobe Bryant thing. No.
Jason Tatum, Donovan Mitchell, and Devin Booker. It was all 3 of them for like, what was that, like 2018, 2019?
In the words of my man Big Ox, I'm not buying that off the clearance rack with 99 cents. I'm not doing it. No, keep that right there.
Be on clearance. You keep it.
Yes, it will sit there. I'm not buying that.
Context clues said, can we have a moment of silence for the lives lost yesterday night in the helicopter plane crash? Prayers to all the families affected by this. Absolutely, a moment of silence. Praying for everybody that was victim of this, praying for their families, and hate to see something happen like this.
Ron, for somebody that worked in the airline industry, I'm pissed about this. I am fucking pissed about this. That's some bullshit. That plane was on approach. That plane was a half a mile away from the airport. Ain't no way that should have happened. That was some bullshit.
Hate to hear it. Macho Man 124 said NBA need to let go of these league passes. Nobody wants to add another subscription. They need to add NBA games to the major streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, etc., etc. We agree?
No. If they just need to make League Pass a more accessible app, make it easier, make it more user friendly, and people will happily pay for it. Like, and for a fact, they'll happily pay for it. It's just right now the app just isn't that good.
It sucks, Mars. It sucks.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem. The app just isn't that good. But if it was a good app, people would pay for it. It's like what, $20 a month. I don't know how much it is for you guys out there. It's not that pricey.
Yeah, they just be doing too much with all the different stuff. But I will pay for the WNBA League Pass in a couple months, though.
Nice.
Joshua Johnson said, "Where does Jalen Brunson rank among point guards in the NBA?" I say he's top 3 at least. How you guys?
We had this conversation not too long ago where we talked about Curry being top 3. Like, it's not definitive anymore. No, it's not. I think Jalen Brunson. You already know how I feel about De'Aaron Fox. I don't have a problem if you got Jalen Brunson anywhere between 3 and 5. I don't have a problem with that. I don't.
Yeah, I think he's third at best because I think Luka and Shea obviously got it at the top.
Yes,
I think at best he's third. At worst, I'd say probably 4th or 5th. That's probably where I have him. 3 through 5, like Joe said.
Austin does not like this at all.
What makes Steph not top 3 right now?
The regression. That's why. When remember what we're talking about, Austin. Remember who we're talking about here, right? We're talking about the chef. We ain't talking about Steph Curry, just his name. We're talking about the chef here. And
exactly.
And he's not the chef anymore. He's not.
He's
still good.
He's still a cook. He's still be making.
He's still good.
Okay. This is one thing I wanted to talk about today too. Steph Curry's second best player is who?
Andrew Wiggins.
Draymond Green, but sure, Andrew Wiggins.
Okay, let's go down the list of all the NBA teams in the West, and take away the star and give me their second best player.
Right now, OKC's is
Let's go down the list of like
J-Dub, Memphis,
J-Dub or Chet, even though Chet's not there.
Yeah, but Chet's not there right now. So J-Dub, Houston, Sengun is their second best player behind him.
Jalen Green, okay.
Memphis, Ja Morant or Jaren Jackson, Denver, Jamal Murray, LA, LeBron, or Anthony Davis, I don't know.
Yep.
The Clippers, Norman Powell, Kawhi, James Harden, whatever you
those
say.
3.
Minnesota, Julius Randle. Dallas, well, it's Luka and Kyrie. Luka's obviously out right now, so whoever you say. Phoenix, Devin Booker, the Kings, De'Aaron Fox.
Like look at the name, but listen to the names you saying, and you gave me Andrew Wiggins and Draymond.
Yeah, the Warriors suck.
Like, but come on, like he's a.
Steph has also gotten worse.
One point guard who gets doubled everywhere on the court.
Yes.
There's no way they shouldn't even been in the game last night, but because he's running around just causing havoc, not even shooting the ball well, slow and wins.
But to your point, Austin, he was getting doubled and tripled like years ago.
Everywhere,
and he was producing
more.
more.
The second best shooter ever on his team that they let go for nothing.
Jordan Poole used to come in and turn water into wine.
But we did not know who Jordan Poole was. Let's not act like Jordan Poole was the
he was 22 championship run.
Yes,
Jordan Poole was cooking. What?
He was getting less minutes each series. But like even if you go back to 2021 though, if you go back to 2021 when Steph was still in his prime, one of his best years ever. There's no Klay Thompson. Jordan Poole starts the year in the G League, so Jordan Poole's not really a factor for that team until the end of the season. Andrew Wiggins is still there, and it's Draymond Green. The rest of the team sucks. And Steph Curry looks like the best player in the world, one of the 3 best players in the world.
Right.
That's not Steph Curry anymore. Like, he's regressing, which is fair. He's 36. I'm not blaming him for regression. He's getting old. He's a small guard. But I think it's fair to also point out 2021 Steph in the same situation looks a lot better than this current Steph. That doesn't mean the Warriors are going to win the championship. That doesn't mean they're going to be a playoff team. Like, we don't know how good the Warriors are going to be. But a younger Steph, a better Steph, looks better in this situation than the.
He was leading the league in scoring, Austin.
Is that fair to say?
Yes, that's Steph, because it was a very similar situation. No Klay Thompson.
But as you get older, we get LeBron the same thing. He needs AD. He needs help.
Yeah, he's
the exception, though.
And he don't say LeBron himself is still regressing.
He doesn't say a word. But think if he actually says something, like, look who I'm out here with as a 6'1" guard.
Maybe he should say something so it forces the Warriors.
But that's what I'm saying. Like
maybe he has said
put
something
themselves in a bad
well, not
spot.
publicly, not publicly.
They
Yeah,
put themselves in
maybe.
a bad spot. Even though Clay may not have been worth what he was worth, or where he's asking for too much, or whatever the case may be. But 2 years, 50, or whatever the case may be, if you would have took that in Golden State, you still got the second best shooter ever on the team, and it makes it so much easier for Steph. Even if Clay's not making shots, him just being out there drawing his man close to him is going to create more space. And I like Buddy Hield, and I like Przewski, but come on.
You don't like him. You just saying.
No, I'm saying but come on. He's not the second greatest shooter ever. Buddy Hield's a great shooter.
And Buddy Hield, it looked like a good idea when it first started.
Great.
Like, okay.
No, it didn't. I tried to tell you, no.
You did try to tell me, Moss. It did look like a good idea early. I'm watching these dudes like, all right, this could work. No,
it could work. But then you had Przewski supposed to be a starter next to Steph. You got 2 6-foot guards starting next to each other. And one is, Przewski's a good player, but he's a come off the bench player.
And then 2 bigs who can't shoot in
Jackson Davis. And then you got Draymond Green that's not a great shooter, and then you got the other young kid, the light-skinned kid, the lefty.
Jackson Davis.
And he wasn't playing before. And he's the only lob threat they had before last year. He's the only lob threat they had. They were starting the season. I went to a game, I remember early on in the season. I went to go see the Warriors play. I think it was Sac. And Clay hit the game winner. But they weren't playing.
Little mid-range pull up.
Sarge, Mooney, and Draymond. Like, come on, man. Yeah. Like, who am I supposed to throw a lob to? Who am I supposed to? You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. You got Sarge starting at the 5, coming off the bench with Mooney. Come on, man.
Yeah, they haven't. I agree with you. They've done a horrible job of
and look at the summer. If you look at the summer, the Olympics. I love LeBron. I love KD. But Steph was the focal point of the offense was Steph. And
he wasn't that good, Austin. No, he wasn't. Curry was not that good.
Yeah, he never said he was.
It doesn't matter.
He said he was the focal point.
It don't matter how good he is. He don't got to even shoot the ball well. It's the fact that every pick and roll he runs, you have to double him. You have to double him. You cannot drop. You cannot hedge. You have to double him. So doubling him causes everything open shots for everybody.
So are you saying that Steph is just like the biggest
where a team was playing
game plan issue in the league? Is that what you're saying? Like in terms of game planning for Steph, it's the most difficult thing of any player in the NBA.
For sure, it's not even a question.
Maybe Jokic.
You have to alternate your defense for him completely. He's one of the only players I've ever seen like that since Kobe when he was in his heyday going crazy.
Did you see the last game?
Sending doubles at him.
Did you see the last game when we just played the Kings just played the Warriors, and we were trapping him so high, and honestly Steph impressed me by getting his teammates really good looks.
Right, but that's what the thing is. But look at
he does have
number of teammates that he has now compared to what he had before. Look who he had coming off the bench before. Like he had
Livingston, Barbosa.
Right. So Austin, is it your even as dangerous as Steph has been? Would you say that Steph Curry is still as dangerous in terms of being a top 3 guard in the league today 100%. As he was 4 years ago?
100%. But you need a little bit with him. You can't have this type of team with him and think he's going to be able to elevate this type team as a 6-foot guard. Like it just can't happen. Like he's not LeBron James or Luka Doncic where he's 6'8", can be able to handle double teams, go to the post. He plays a certain way. He's a 6-foot guard that will stretch your defense out to the half court. But if you don't have the pieces that go along with him even a little bit, they don't even have the pieces that go along with him a little bit. Who's their biggest lob threat?
Jackson Davis.
Like, come on, man. Like, he's 6'8". He's not even 7 foot. Like, they had a Wiseman. They had, not saying Wiseman was going to turn into whatever, but they had the formula. The formula was get a guy that can play off Steph as a big, like an Andrew Bogut, block shots, rebound, catch lobs. Draymond coming down the lane after the double team from the pick and roll, and then you got shooters on the outside. But they don't have that anymore.
Yeah, they've gone away from the formula badly.
He's kicking out to Gary Payton second. Like
get Gary Payton on the flank.
No, I mean
you see that dunk he got last night?
That's what I'm saying. But these are the guys that they're kicking out to. They're not kicking out to Andre Iguodala, and they're not making plays with Leandro Barbosa or even the shooters that they have.
Livingston.
Like they had
Kevin Durant.
Come on. You couldn't double Steph. That was what made them so tough because you literally had to double Steph, and then in the worst case situation, we could throw it to KD with 5 seconds left. So, I mean, I think when you talk about effect of the game, I think he affects the game as a top 3 player. I think the problem is the fit that he's in right now. He can't show it completely. The same thing.
So if Steph was in the right situation, he'd still be viewed
for sure. Like if you put Saquon Barkley on the Giants, he looks completely different than Saquon Barkley with the Eagles.
Yeah.
When you got an offensive line like we have, it's different. It's different.
I get what you're saying.
Like if you put him on the Knicks right now, what are the Knicks doing with all them wing shooters and them the lob threats that they have? And Karl-Anthony Towns is.
I think Steph looks better, but I do think there's something to say about can Steph, because we're talking about Thibodeau system right now. Can Steph physically endure playing as much as Jalen Brunson plays with the ball in his hands as much over the course of
I don't think he could, but I think he would affect the games even more.
I agree. I agree. While he's out there, he can affect the game more, but
he doesn't even have to be involved. He just has to run off a stagger this way, and then the whole gym's going to look this way. So it's just
the Knicks would 100% be better with Steph over Jalen Brunson.
That's zero knock on JB, who you guys are saying is a top 3 guy.
100%.
But if you put Steph right now in JB's spot and put JB in Golden State,
I wouldn't subject any guard to what Steph's going through in Golden State. I think that's cruelty. I wouldn't subject anyone.
I mean, the fall was fast, though. The fall was fast. Like,
y'all dudes really gonna sit up here and talk to me about Steph Curry? Dude went to the finals 5 times in 5 years. Get the hell out of here. I'm straight, Seth. You ate enough. How about that?
No, he for sure ate enough.
He had his time. Like, the Golden State's a dynasty, but we can also acknowledge that right now he's in a horrible situation.
He can't even get in a comfortable 60.
He'll be all right. Jimmy on the way. They're about to start eating again.
I mean, that's a good help, but it's not the answer at all.
Yeah, it's too much going on over there unless it's one of them players, can't one person just come over and solve it all. And they don't got the pieces.
Zach LaVine would have helped a lot, but that's
for sure. I think he's a better fit. For sure.
Yeah. But all right, y'all, I got to get back to these super chats. Rob Wick said, I might be in a minority here, but the chip looks pretty wide open this year. Playoff hoops might be the best we've seen since 2016. Shout out PC fam and the Pacific Northwest Goons.
Word.
Yeah, I think there's maybe 5 or 6 teams that I view as having a legit shot at a championship, all with different variances of like chance. But like at their high end, I could see the Knicks winning, Boston, Cleveland, maybe Milwaukee, OKC, of course, Dallas fully healthy, Denver. I think those are the teams that I can all see winning a championship this year. All with obviously different odds, but that's a lot of teams.
I'll stand on it, Ron, that I don't see a team beating the Celtics 4 times in a week, but I wouldn't be surprised if they got bounced in round 2. That wouldn't surprise me. It would not surprise me. I wouldn't be like, damn, you ain't lost. No, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, I think the West is wide open.
Yeah, I think the West is pretty.
I still got OKC, but when their guys don't make shots, they look really beatable, and that's what happened last night. The shooting is the problem with OKC.
And Dallas is on a good winning streak before Luka got hurt.
Yeah, Dallas and OKC are my 2 top teams in the West. I think they're the 2 best teams.
We'll see though.
Sale TV said another 10 for y'all. Nuggets and Celtics in the finals this year. I got the Nuggets in 6 and chill. ... Ron is still an L host.
Garbage.
The Nuggets just aren't convincing me. I just like I see how they can win. I'm just not convinced.
Tomatoes, Ox. Tomatoes.
I'm just not convinced.
Get him off stage.
Sal, I didn't even do nothing to you, but be a good host up here. That's it.
Get Ron ass out of here.
I don't know what's wrong with him. MP13 said after game 2, when Brunson adjusted to the hard doubles and started rejecting screens and running more pick and roll, he averaged 42 points on 50, 35, 77. It was pure insanity watching him carry at that level.
Yeah, the first 2 games of that Philly series, he was like 9 for 27 and like 8 for 32 or something. Because I remember I came into that series like Nick Nurse is going to throw everything at him. He's probably going to be inefficient. And then they adjusted. Brunson took more of the responsibility on the ball so he couldn't be doubled away from it. And then he just started killing him. Like, that's really just what happened. Started killing him. It's amazing seeing a small guard do that. It reminded me of like Allen Iverson, like in Philly in 2001. That's what it reminded me of. It was amazing to see.
Jordan numbers in the playoffs is not too many people touch those. So Jordan numbers in the playoffs is ridiculous.
Masenko said when you're whacking for League Pass and all those other subscriptions, at the least you could do is start on time. They find players for being late.
Yeah, I don't think I'm asking for much to say start the game on time.
All right, chill.
We got them all, fellas. Yes, sir.
Joshua Johnson said it's clear Steph by himself, 22 points per game. JB with Cat, 26 points per game with almost 9 assists.
Well, I think that's a bad example of why Steph would be better, but I do understand the idea that Steph would be better in a better situation. I think that goes for everyone. And Steph is in a horrible situation. I just don't think he's what he used to be. Even in a better situation, I don't think he can replicate what he once was. But what he once was is one of the best ever players that's ever played the game. So I'm not expecting him to be that. I'm just acknowledging that he's not. Oh, you're back.
My fault before, because I didn't want to be disrespectful. Austin, it was dope to meet you, brother. There's not a lot of dudes that I can say that I've seen that play pro basketball, even on TV, that know the game. It's a bunch of them that they talk, and I'm like,
I know a little bit. I'll hop back on with y'all again, man.
Okay, man. Good to meet you, though. So, all right, fellas. I'll see you dudes tomorrow.
Merry Christmas.
All right, chill.
Yes, sir.
All right, chill.
Realist123 said, also shaking my head that I cussed Chill out about Randall, and he finally decides to play basketball last night. Damn it.
He's capable of having good games. He's a good player. It's just, is he conducive?
The production is just not going to be the same. It's not going to look the same. You got another two guard that need the ball with you, and you got a five that's not really a skilled scorer. So when it was just him and JB, it was him and JB trading off, playing with the guards. But now he got to find his little niche. I like the little 4-5 pick and roll they're running a little bit. Hopefully they can just get the ball moving and really find like a good rhythm in their system.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're still dangerous. They're still dangerous, though.
Yeah, right now they play Houston in round one. I'm not happy about that. But
yeah, I wouldn't be happy about that either. I ain't gonna lie.
MP13 said Kawhi is shaping into form faster than I expected. He was torching the Spurs, getting to the paint for his jumpers. How we feeling about Kawhi?
Healthy Kawhi is one of the best players in the sport. Like, it's just
I told y'all yesterday. Top 5, bro.
He just gets to whatever shot he like. It's very rare that Kawhi is being bothered. It's very rare that he's getting something that he didn't want. Like, whatever shot he gets, more than likely is the shot he wanted. If he missed, he missed. But he's comfortable with whatever he's doing. I think that's what's scary about guarding guys like Kawhi. It's like, you're not really bothering them. You're not changing their plan. Their plan is, I'm getting to this baseline jumper, so I'm just going to take 3 dribbles, bump you, baseline jumper. If I miss, okay, I missed. I'm going to still get that shot next time if I want it. Like,
James,
very methodical.
Together, just that's a good two. Like with Paul George was cool too, but to have James run the offense and get to the shots when he wants to get shots off and assist when he wants to assist, they're gonna be tough.
Did you see Kawhi doing this when he was on the Spurs? Could you see this trajectory?
I mean, I already knew, like, especially at the time he won Finals MVP, and then the next year he was playing really well. So I knew that he was going to be. I mean, also too, the team was put in position for him to do that at that time. You know, for him.
No, like when you was playing with him, though. Like, did you know he was going to be this good?
Did I see what like superstardom?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because that year he won Finals MVP and all the things he was doing all year. Like we weren't a team that averaged a whole lot. We didn't have a whole lot of 20-point scores. We had a whole lot of guys averaging like 16, 17. So like for him, it wasn't even the scoring; it was the playmaking. Like it was the defense, the being in every passing lane, holding people down to the scoring averages or lower. But also the way he played within our system. Like we played a crazy system where you had 0.5 seconds to make a decision: shoot the ball, pass the ball, or attack the rim. So I think he wanted to try to just get to a place to where he can play more of the style he wants to play, and then also be successful that way and prove that he can be successful that way. And that's why when he went to Toronto, that was what he did.
Do you think he's a better defender than MJ and LeBron?
Than MJ and LeBron?
Yeah. You think he's better on defense than they were?
Man, I don't know. I think he's more willing to guard a guy for 48 minutes. I'll say that. Like, he's willing to get torched. Like, and I don't know too much from Mike. And also Bron, like, he's guarded all types of guys 1 through 4. But as far as for like a whole game stretch, I think maybe Kawhi is more willing.
Okay.
Pensare basketball. Y'all know the great Penn. And salute to you getting a wrench now, Penn. Penn said, guess which team in the NBA has the #1 defense in the NBA over the last 8 games? I bet you'll never guess.
The Toronto Raptors.
Shout out the Raptors.
Well,
on a 5-game winning streak right now.
Scotty Barnes.
All-star.
Void Century said the Cavs pounded Miami down below all night long last night. Pause. But good news is Bam might be back. Bam back to playing ball?
I don't know. They lost by 200. I didn't watch the game. I can't tell you what Bam did.
I ain't gonna lie, I didn't watch that game either.
Yeah, I can't tell you. I'm not gonna lie and sit up here like, oh yeah, Bam was doing. I didn't watch the game, so maybe.
Shout out to Miami though. Marcus FRM 626 said death, taxes, and Anthony Edwards and Jaden McDaniels punking Devin Booker.
Yeah, the Timberwolves just seem to have the Suns' number. It seems like, and the Nuggets number. Like both those teams, the Timberwolves just seem to have something over them in terms of the matchup. I think Chris Finch has adjusted to how he's using Jaden McDaniels though, which is good. He's no longer just using him as a spot-up shooter in the corner, which was in his game. I think that's probably been a big difference for why they look slightly better.
For sure.
But still, there's a long way to go, I think, for the Timberwolves.
Your guy Boss Man became a YouTube member. Shout out to your guy Boss Man. Naptown also sent through a members chat. He said, "Stop sleeping, we coming." I'm assuming he a Pacer fan. That's Naptown.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
He's right. We definitely coming. The Greatness Gaming has been a member for 9 months and said, "Lethal Shooter versus Steph. What y'all think? All-Star Weekend."
I think the people would like to see that. I don't think a lot of kids would like to see it. I would like to see it.
I don't want to see anyone against that. That's what I want to see. Anyone against that. Shootable.
Steph is going to demolish him.
No, not necessarily.
I mean, Steph probably gonna wipe him, but I think that's just good to just good for fanfare. It's all about the fans, right?
Hank sent through a members chat. He said, "Who beating the Cavs in the series?"
Orlando.
I'd probably have Boston beating them. I think the Knicks could get with them. That's it out east, and then in the west, I think Dallas could beat them. I think OKC could beat them.
I think if Orlando gets it right, Orlando, yeah, Cavs. I mean, Boston and the Knicks. I've been walking to. I said Milwaukee.
I didn't say Milwaukee, but yeah, Milwaukee's another one that could give them a tough time.
They don't want to be honest.
Milwaukee needs to make some trades, in my opinion, man. That's what they need to make some trades.
Yeah. We about to tinker some things, Mars. Don't even worry about it.
They've been playing well of late, though, right?
Yeah, they've definitely improved, especially defensively. But I would still be trying to get off some guys who I think are just a bit too slow right now. But
hey, the trade deadline is the 6th or the 7th?
6th, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
exactly
perfect.
A week.
All right, that's perfect because we still got a Friday show on the 7th. So that's what's up.
Sleepwalking again became a YouTube member. Just Rome sent through a members chat. He said, "Any top 10, not including Kobe." And then he sent some emojis. I don't know what emojis it is, but I'm assuming he's saying that's disgusting if Kobe's not in your top 10.
Yeah, everyone's top 10 is different, man. Everyone's top 10 is unique.
Cheerio. Y'all know good old Cheerio. She sent through a members chat. She said, "Dub panel, Dub Austin, Dub PC. The chat clears sometimes." Another super chat from Dezo the Introverts. He said, "Mars, like I said, best shooting guard in the league." Who's he talking about?
He's talking about Anthony Edwards. I still think Devin Booker's the best shooting guard in the league. So it's not gonna change my mind. I don't think. I still think Devin Booker's the best shooting guard in the league. So
I got D Book still too.
If I'm picking right now for what, like to start a team, or if I'm just picking like for what?
Just who you think, just who you think is the best, not long term, just right now. Who you think is the best
for this season? Man.
Not for a playoff series.
For a playoff series,
yeah.
Probably Ant. Just because he's so explosive at the rim, he's gonna cause so many fouls. Like especially if he keeps his mind the same. Like at the beginning of the season, I remember they were saying that he was setting a lot for threes. And now, as of like the last couple of months, it's been just getting more downhill. So, I mean, his combination of just getting to the rim, being able to shoot mid ranges. I don't think he's as good of a shooter as Devin Booker, for sure not. But as far as just an attacker and someone that's going to give me more throughout a series, I think he can probably give me a little bit more throughout a series.
Sounds like Zach LaVine, but
Zach
LaVine's tough. Like, I don't know if tell you, Zach LaVine's tough. Like, I'm gonna keep saying it. Zach LaVine is amazing.
No, he's good, but he's not on those two. But from Devin Booker, like we've seen him elevate somewhat of a team. Like, do you think if Zach LaVine was in Devin Booker's spot, do you think that Zach LaVine would have got that team to a championship?
Nah, I think. Well, the issue is we've only seen Zach LaVine in the playoffs once, and he was hurt when he was there. So like, it's a really hard bar to see what he is. I think Zach LaVine probably isn't the type to carry a team. Like, I don't think that's his game. I think he plays so well off the ball, and he's so good playing off of other people that he's probably not going to carry you. Like, he's not going to be give the ball to him in a half court, go get a bucket consistently. Yeah. But I do think like the way he plays, like if you put him on the Warriors, for example, next to Steph, that opens up so many things. And like, I think that would open up more things than, for example, if Anthony Edwards was on the Warriors next to Steph. I'm not saying he's better than Ant, but I think the fit and the complement next to these other elite players, I do think I probably prefer Zach LaVine because of the extra shooting alongside the athleticism, the off-ball play, getting to the rim, all of those things. I think he just plays great in a winning environment. We just haven't seen him in a winning environment since that 22 season. And he was unfortunately hurt in the postseason. So we never got to see it fully realized. And it's been 3 years since then. I'm just really high on Zach LaVine, basically. Really, really high.
That's true.
Bryce Lawson said the Raptors held the Wizards to more turnovers than shots made entering the fourth quarter. That is crazy. He said they are rolling right now defensively. The Wizards are a shame of a franchise.
They're the worst team in the league, by far. They suck.
It's not even close.
Yeah, they suck. It's
not even close. It's crazy.
Breezy said, why do people keep mentioning JT as a lock for first team All-NBA? He had his usual good first month of the season and has been so mid again. He's not top 5. Wemby is.
I don't know how I feel about Jason Tatum. That's really it. I don't know what my opinion of Jason Tatum is.
I'm trying to tell y'all.
I love Jason Tatum. I think he's just not put in the right positions for him to flourish like he can flourish.
And I can agree with that too.
I think.
What do you think?
I like Joe Mazzulla, and I like what they've done, but it's so much ISO, 6 dribbles behind the 3-point line. It's so much of that, and it's not going to work for long term. Like, it worked last year when you had guys that are making plays for each other, doing all that, and they really came together as a team. Not saying that they are now, but just the way I see Jason Tatum now, I'm like, man, like, you idolized Kobe at one point. Get to the elbow and get in ISO. Get to the block, get to the ISO. Like, get a little closer to the rim in ISO and use your jab series. And you can already shoot the ball way above your head. You can shoot over anybody. And that's the reason why I felt like they lost to the Warriors. I mean, they were getting the switches on to Steph, and they weren't taking advantage of it. They were trying to ISO Steph 3, 4, 5 feet behind the 3-point line, and you know the help is right there. If you catch the ball at the live dribble close to the basket, he's 6'7", Steph 6'3". What is he gonna do?
He's more like 6'9".
But that's what kind of, to me, changed Dirk's career. Like, Dirk was always a great player until Avery Johnson was like, nah, go right to that free throw line right there and ask for the ball. And then that changed everything.
You're spitting right now. You spitting right there.
I'm just here in total agreement right now.
No, I mean,
that's what everybody in the league was tight.
I watched JB and I watched Jason Tatum. As far as like height, strength, athleticism, they're like among the top in the league as far as position. At their position, they're top.
Yeah, that's some of the premier in the
so you don't got them getting the ball closer to the basket a little bit. Not saying all the time, but you don't got a cross screen, down screen play for them. You don't got like something to where they can get the ball close to the basket. You tell me these guys idolize Kobe, but like, are they really idolizing what the main part of what Kobe was? He took all MJ's footwork. It wasn't that he didn't have the same athleticism. He took his footwork from him. So if they implemented some of that footwork, I think he would be like by far one of the best 2 guards in the league. It wouldn't even be a question.
But they're telling them that mid-range shot is a bad shot.
It is a bad shot until you have to take it in the playoffs, and then it's like, well, why didn't you pull up?
They don't know because it's a bad shot.
that's-
Jason.
That's the
Jason
best answer
Tatum
I heard
came
about
in-
it so far. It's a bad shot until the defense absolutely forces you to shoot that shot, and that's the only way you can eat. When you get to the playoffs, that's the only way you're gonna be able to eat.
That's been the issue with this analytics, like, because a lot of people misunderstand the analytics. They don't, and I keep saying this. It's not just threes, layups, or free throws. It's we want the good mid-range shooters taking mid-range shots, and we need guys to be able to make that shot in that intermediate area. Because if you get to a point where teams are just saying, well, you're not going to shoot the mid-range, so if we play high on the three, funnel you to our bigs, that's a lot of problems that Houston ran into, especially when Chris Paul went down, because Chris Paul was the intermediate shot maker. When you don't have that, it's like you become easier to game plan for because you aren't taking those shots. The issue with Jason Tatum is he just hasn't really been good at them in his career, and now they've just taken it pretty much fully out of his game. And he doesn't have that counter he can go to, which is what I've been saying for years. It confuses me that he says he idolizes Kobe and then he takes like 10% of his shots from mid-range. Like it doesn't make. He has a James Harden shot profile, but says he.
That's what I don't get, and that's what kills me. I'm like watching these dudes. I'm like, man, like if he just caught the ball a little bit close to the basket, not all the time, but at times through the game, he can. There's no one stopping him from taking a one dribble pull up right or left or a step back right or left. But at the same time, like those are the shots that get you into the game too. Like.
And it still generates threes as well, because I know obviously they want to generate threes, but if you have a guy like JT on the block or you're getting in mismatches at the elbow, he's gonna command double teams where you're gonna get.
It's much easier to pass. It's much easier to pass when a double team coming at you with a live dribble than when you're trying to get into your package and then the double team is right there. You try to drive, double team's there, and now you got to pick up your dribble and pass it, rather than being in a spot where you're a triple threat, playing with the ball, faking. Then I can pass whenever I see it coming, or when I'm driving, I'm already closer to the basket, so the pass is going to be more open. So it's just,
there's a lot of things that I question about the Celtics and Jason Tatum, because I don't know who I'm blaming for it, because Jason Tatum changed his shot profile in year 2. I don't know if you guys remember. Like he came in as a rookie.
I swear, like year 1, he was getting the ball more.
He was.
Like
he was like that at Duke. And even in high school.
It's changed since he's been in the league, but it changed since before Missoula.
James and Luka do what they're doing. Everyone's trying to mimic, like not saying everyone's trying to mimic, but that's like the glamorous shot. Between the legs crossover, step back. Getting your guy to go one way, taking a step back.
It's glamorous when you make it 40% of the time.
Sure, but you're shooting at a low percentage. But then at the same time, too, is that if you're doing all this in the playoffs, I'm going to force you one way. And then I'm going to have my help come from that way. But if I get the ball and I have a live dribble at the elbow or whatever, you get a switch with a guard. I set a screen, I get a switch with a guard. Well, I'm going to play with the ball and I can just be in my triple threat, shoot over him, take one dribble. 2 dribbles, you're at the rim dunking. 1 dribble, you might be at the rim dunking. So it's really like that's why I saw the difference in the Golden State series. But last year I felt like they won the championship based off of just Luka couldn't guard. They were doing the right things offensively, and they were exposing Dallas. But when I look at it, like when they played in 2 years prior to that when they got into the finals, they weren't exploiting what they needed to exploit. They were getting the switches with Steph on the Tatum, but they weren't exploiting it the right way. I didn't feel that way.
All right, y'all. We got to wrap things up in about 10 minutes. I got like 20 super chats, so I'm going to go ahead and read through these quickly, and we'll go ahead and make this happen. MTHJ301 said, Fox was always going to leave Sack for a new market. Waiting until the 2026 free agency cost him $77 million. Teams trading guarantees value back for both.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
I think he'll still be on the Kings post-trade deadline.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're not going to trade him right now, but if we do, as long as we get something back, good luck.
Mo said Dub Show and Dub Harden. Can't believe Chill doubted the GOAT.
Austin, who do you think is better? Like 1 through 3, James Harden, D Wade, and AI.
Damn, that's tough. I ain't gonna lie. That's tough. I mean, the chips matter, but also, I mean, God, man. I might put D Wade, James, AI, but I really think James is. No, I'm gonna be bold. I'll say James, AI, D Wade. I ain't gonna lie. I'm crazy.
James, AI, D Wade.
I'm crazy.
AI.
I'm crazy because when I look at AI, it's like, do I? like when I seen D Wade on a team by himself with not too much help, they couldn't get them to the playoffs. When I see AI with a good team, solid team,
in 09, he got him to the offs. He got him to the offs.
He did a lot more with a lot less in a much tougher guarding era. Like you talking about in the early 2000s where Shaq is at the rim, like Rick Smith is at the rim, like these dudes is at the rim, and he's a 5'11" guard. He was unreal. But like I mean, D Wade too. But I see James put up 60 a night for a whole season. And everyone acts like it's just 37. Like, bro, he just did something that was like unbelievable with averaging 11 assists or whatever the case may be. So it's like, I don't know, it's tough. I've seen those two kind of do more with less than D Wade, but I do think D Wade can fit in any team. He was a player that could fit in any team.
I think you're kind of understating how good D-Wade was when he was by himself post Shaq. Like, I know they didn't go to the finals and stuff.
07, 08, 09.
Like 07, 08, 09, 2010.
No, he was killing. He was leading the
there.
league in scoring, but they didn't win nothing, though. They didn't even get to, like, the playoffs.
In 09?
In the East.
09, they played.
In the East.
Was it Boston or Chicago they played in 09?
I can't remember.
09. When LeBron was there?
I'll check.
Nah, before Bron.
Yeah, this is pre-Bron. This is when he's second in MVP. 09, they played. Who they play? 09 was the year they played Atlanta in the first round. Like they lost in 7 games, but like D-Wade was doing a lot for that Heat team. And I get they didn't make the finals, but like I think there was a lot more that went into making the finals for Philly in 01 than just Allen Iverson. Not like he wasn't great and he wasn't amazing.
I think
but there was a lot more to it.
I take that back. I probably picked D-Wade above AI. I take that back. I probably put D-Wade above AI, but I honestly think I would put James above D-Wade.
Yeah, now we see an eye tie. Now we see an eye tie.
Somewhat crazy, but if you look at it, like if you put James on those teams, I think he makes them better too. If you put D Wade on like Houston, I don't know like how high of a seed they're going to be in the West because he's not
James Harden.
He's not the playmaker at all that James is.
So
like you got one dude that has been able to play one style of basketball and scored a lot of points. And then he's been able to go to other teams. Okay, now I'm just going to be the assist guy. And he was still an MVP consideration when he was the Nets at first. So,
all right. The next super chat is from Huncho, a.k.a. your boys call you. Don't even worry about it, Huncho. I'll call you Huncho today. He said, you just got to ignore what Chill has to say when judging who's better offensively.
I don't think you ignore it. I just think you're allowed to disagree. Like, you don't have to ignore what someone's saying. I disagreed.
Cowboy Bob said the difference from last year and this year is we have guys healthy and feed off each other. Get your popcorn ready. He's talking about the New York Knicks. Fit Jones said Jokic goes to a stable out in New York when they travel there. I heard Malone speak on it when Murray was cheeks after he went to that fight in Vegas.
So that's his excuse. He went to go see some horses. Nice.
Jokic over next game.
I feel you. I'm taking it 100%. The baller shot caller 1999 said, I trust the Suns more with Mike Bud than the Wolves with Chris Finch. The Suns have more firepower. We agree?
The Suns still got to figure things out. I still think Bradley Beal's redundant.
They need something.
I'm still not very high on Nick Richards when you play him in these high stakes games. I feel like he's dominated against the bad teams the Suns have played, and then when they play the good teams, he hasn't been great. So like, I want to see more from Nick Richards. Like, the roster's flawed, but I also see the avenue to being great. So like, it's weird. They're in a weird situation.
KG said, Chill hates Brunson. I'm convinced. Brunson is more efficient, drives more, whether he had shit players or good players. JB is better than Fox.
I agree. I think he's better than Fox. I don't think he hates Jalen Brunson, but I do think he's better than Fox.
Yeah, I don't hate De'Aaron Fox either, but I like Jalen Brunson a little more.
Kareem MYK 2001 said, can we talk about how Jaylen Brown is really hurting Tatum's game? It feels like Boston is a team built around Brown's weaknesses and not Tatum's strengths.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I don't think I agree with that.
I see it. Like, I feel like the reason why I see it kind of. It's too long to get involved, but I see kind of. Not totally, but I see part of it.
Leftover Take said, if you were the Spurs, what young player would you trade to pair with Wemby? To be honest, I think the Spurs should trade Keldon Johnson and hella picks to Houston for men.
He lost his mind. He lost his mind.
I agree with that.
He lost his mind.
I agree with it. Go get him, man. Come on, Mars. Hand him over.
That man is not. You offer us Wemby and we might not. We might
right,
have to
that's what I'm
negotiate.
saying.
Like, let's be serious. But Keldon Johnson and picks.
Hey, but hold
Mars,
on.
Mars, he just said something ridiculous, and you just double down on saying something ridiculous too.
Ridiculousness, yes, I have to. That's the rules. You don't get to say something like that, and I just have to be logical and rational. No.
Okay, I could dig that.
With that being said, though, Wemby in the men would be a movie.
Go get a song.
They're not winning nothing.
They're not. Yeah,
eventually.
They need a guard. They need a guard.
They wouldn't win nothing next year. They wouldn't win nothing.
I ain't gonna lie.
Right now.
I think they should. I think they should.
Those rumors about Zion.
I think they should have took the 8th pick and got Robert.
I like Zion over there too.
I ain't gonna lie.
I've been
Zion
saying that.
with the ball in his hands, playing pick and roll with Wemby and shooters around, and
you just got two freaks of nature.
Zion looks good by that. I know the Pelicans suck, but Zion looks good.
He got busy last night. 29 points in 27 minutes.
Yeah, bro. He's
in great shape. Like I'm just pointing out, he's in great shape. Like he looks good.
Oh, Mars, that's just a waist trainer. But anyways, MTHJ301 says Spider, Brunson, Dame, Trey, Cade, Hero, Tatum, Greek Freak, Towns, Mobley, Siakam, Wagner, Shea, Chef Curry, JH, Ant, Green, Braun, Katie, Jokic, Davis, Vic, Jaren, and DeMontis.
What is
That's what we got. All-star.
Yeah.
All-star team.
Oh, okay. Jalen Green, nice.
Appreciate you, MTHJ. Mike Valley Production said, Trey is kicking out to Larry Nance. Stop giving Steph a pass. Steph was terrible throughout the Olympics. The championship game blinded his regression.
Stop.
And Mike Valley coming in hot.
Because
I do think he's regressed.
If you shoot the ball, if you don't shoot the ball well, you're having a bad game. If you're not creating the shots, you're not creating good shots. That's another story. Like Steph's always gonna create the shots he wants to shoot. Like, I don't know. I saw the USA. I saw the Olympics much different than I guess than a lot of people because I saw the offense running through Steph. I saw Steph getting doubled. I saw Steph making plays for everybody. Everyone else making drive, draw, and kicks off of that, and then them sometimes doing it to Joel Embiid. But I remember the semifinal game. If Steph doesn't do what he do, they not making it to the final.
Yeah, finals game too.
He made like 9 threes in that game against Serbia.
And they were struggling at first. Serbia was playing well, and like you gotta give it this. If Steph don't make some of them threes to at least bring that tightness, they would have got so tight at the end of that game. It would have been a lot of problems.
I think they lose without Steph
for sure. Come on, man.
Void Century said, God is good. My GOAT D Wade went in for a regular doctor checkup and they found a cancerous tumor on his kidney and removed it before it could spread in 2023.
Damn. Never knew that.
Glad you helped me, D Wade.
Get your checkups, guys. Get your checkups.
Hit him up said, who's coming off that first team All NBA for KD and JT?
No, I think he's saying 4 KD, and then he's asking if it's Jason Tatum. Well, I mean, Jokic, Shea, Giannis are locks.
Mm-hmm.
And if Jason Tatum's not a lock anymore, that means there's 2 spots. Whether that's Kevin Durant, Wemby, Domantas Sabonis, whoever, I don't know. But we got 40 games to see. I don't know.
Yeah. Duke did it. Said, chill. Thanks for the Seattle love. Love you, King.
Mars, maybe you just need to run it back one time, man.
No, we good. We good.
Just come back to the Great Pacific Northwest.
We good.
We'll show you
we
a
good.
time,
We good. Read the super chats, Ron. Read the super chats.
All right. Hey, I hope you like San Francisco more. Mike Kelly said, think I saw Jokic at Saratoga at 3 p.m. yesterday. What's Saratoga? That's a
race track.
Okay.
So horse races.
Shout out Saratoga. Zigsaw Puzzle said, don't forget about Toronto, Mars. Only 5 games back in the 10th spot, or 5 games back from the 10th
Are they not trying to get Cooper Flag?
They're not.
I heard they're in the look for Brandon Ingram. Like, I don't.
They got integrity, Mars. They got integrity.
Hey, shout out to the Raptors. I haven't really been watching them on this win streak, so like, I don't apparently their defense been great. Obviously, like statistically, I haven't watched it. I don't know what's really happening. But shout out to them for being competitive, I guess. Shout out to them.
Ray Star said, I think my Timberwolves finally turning the corner.
This looks better recently, for sure.
Gotta try.
Dirty Dev said, Ron, check your DMs. Right after the show, I will be checking them.
Okay.
All right.
Type of shit y'all got going on, right?
I'm not checking
I don't judge.
DMs.
I don't judge.
I'm not checking my DMs for Dev, but I will be checking them.
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
All right, y'all.
I'm on my business.
The baller shot caller 1999 said soccer starts on time all the time.
Yes, it does.
Bashir Ali said start bench cut 09 LeBron, 13 LeBron, 18 LeBron. How we rocking?
Start 13, bench 09, cut 18.
Sounds about right.
Oh, shit,
I don't know. I might bench 18 though. Bench 18.
I'm starting 13. It's between 09 and 18.
18
13 starting.
18 was when they won the chip?
No, 18 is when they got swept.
It lost.
And they got swept.
Yeah.
But it was the year he carried to the finals, made like 2 game winners.
I ain't gonna lie.
That was the year they were trying to give him finals MVP, right? And he lost?
No, that was 2015.
That was 15?
That was 15.
Yeah.
I've been getting 18 and 15 mixed
I
up.
might go 13, 18 now.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's just the best athlete I've ever seen. Like, that's my favorite LeBron. So I think that's probably why I'm benching him. But
13, yeah.
Hoops Never Stop said Amin or Dyson defensively. I got Dyson.
I got Amin.
Can't go wrong either way.
That's what I'm saying. Flip a coin.
Yeah, you're gonna be good. Yeah.
Just Rome said Joker about to be top 10, and I'm a Laker fan.
Maybe on your weak ass Laker list.
That top 10 hard to crack, man. I mean, I gave the names. I think there's 11 top 10 players in NBA history. Maybe 12. I think there's 11 or 12 legitimate top 10 players. You had Jokic in that mix. You had Giannis. You had like those guys who are peaking at that level. It's a tough list.
Morris, his list ain't valid anyway. You know, his list goes Kareem, Wilt, Jerry West, Shaq, Kobe, James Worthy. You know what I'm saying? He got 8 Lakers in his top 10.
That's not
bad.
You start those first 5 names, Kareem, Magic. Like, the Lakers got like a bunch of top 5 players.
He probably got 9 Lakers on his top 10.
And you could have 4
Lakers and no Scottie Pippen, so it's invalid.
Oh yeah, no Scottie. Yeah, you're right. No Scottie Pippen.
Hoops Never Stop said Kobe is 7 or 8 all time at best, respectfully. You bugging Hoops Never Stops. You tripping.
I got him at 6 though, so
being in the top 10 in the mix is just like
right.
It's all nice dudes there.
Dirty Dev said no Diddy.
Yeah, it's a bit too late for that.
Nah, it's too late for that, bro.
He said no Diddy. You guys relax.
It's a bit too late for that. It's already been Didified. Like, it's too late.
You gotta donate $10.
That's
facts. To undo your Diddiness.
DSG Piccolo with the last super chat of the day. He said, Blazers got the magic tonight. We either going to have them in jail again, or it's going to be a close loss, in my opinion. We winning too much. Capture the flag continues. Yeah, hopefully y'all do your job and keep tanking.
I might tap into that game. Yeah. Sounds like it could be a school game.
All right, y'all. It's been real. It's been amazing. We will be back tomorrow at the same time. You guys make sure you tap in so we can see the All-Star reserves. Austin, it's been a pleasure. Hope to have you on soon.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy your Chinese New Year.
Appreciate it, man.
You in China right now?
No, I'm back in the States. I'm in Vegas. I'm going back to Taiwan on the 1st.
Oh, okay. Oh, so you playing in Taiwan right now?
Yep.
Okay.
I'm back there on the 1st. Yeah. So when I get out there, I'll get in contact with you guys. I'll try to hop back on sometimes.
No doubt. Well, man, hope you have a great rest of the season. Hope hope your second half of the season was better than your first half. Hope you take it to another level. And we'll catch you soon.
All right, brother.
All right, y'all. All right, man.
Merry Christmas.